Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Galbraith with a 1-2 as this one's lifted into left center field. Going back as a center fielder. This one's going to go behind his head and 1 run will score. Running second now is going to be Kevin Donati, and he's going to be running third. Going all the way to second base is now going to be Janowski. He's going to stay put. No throw. And that is a 2 RBI 2-bagger by the second baseman, Brandon Janowski. And the Suns now lead it by a score of 6-2.
Now we're going to take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Here again, the payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Going back here is Maduri towards the warning track. Gone! Pittsfield Suns tie up the ball game with a clutch 2-run homer by Connor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in beautiful Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready to take FCBL action against the Worcester Bravehearts. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Billy Madewell. Thank you so much for listening and watching in. Alongside me, as always, my longtime broadcast partner, Andrew Ballargin. Andrew, for the Suns, starting off hot, but ever since, not too much in the middle of a 3-game skid, and very metaphorical with the weather being very chilly and cloudy today.
Indeed, a big opening day win, a few losses ever since. Time to get back on track against the rival Worcester Bravehearts.
The Pittsfield Suns, again, losers of 3 straight, one of them against these very same Worcester Bravehearts. That's last night, as this is game 2 of a home-and-home. Pittsfield Suns, of course, at home today. They were swept in a home-and-home against the Bristol Blues, that being on Friday and Saturday, the first 2 days of June. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have a full pregame festivities, including Andrew giving you a full rundown of the FCBL. On top of that, we're also going to have an exclusive sit-down interview with Chris Barbarotta, the hitting coach for the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days? Using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So before we get into action on the field, we're going to talk about action going on around the field, specifically looking at the FCBL real quick for current, very, very, very early season standings. We have the Bristol Blues on top of things here with a 4-1 record to start off. Following them up are today's visiting Worcester Bravehearts, who will seek to tie Bristol atop the standings with a potential victory here in Wacona Park. In third right now are the Martha's Vineyard Sharks at 2-1, and mere percentage points behind the Sharks are the Brockton Rocks at 3-2. The Rocks have won 2 straight and will look to continue riding their momentum later tonight. Meanwhile, of course, the Pittsfield Suns and Nashville Silver Knights are tied at 1-3. And rounding off our FCBL standings, we have the North Shore Navigators with a 1-4 record. Now, of course, that takes us to games going on around the FCBL right now. In terms of what we had yesterday, of course, a busy Sunday, which saw 4 games go on. Of course, your Pittsfield Suns and these very same Worcester Bravehearts faced off in Worcester yesterday, with the Bravehearts collecting a 6-1 victory. Then, the North Shore Navigators picked up their first win of the season in Bristol, going to Bristol and beating the Blues 3-2. Meanwhile, the Brockton Rocks got it done in Nashua by a score of 5-2. And later that day, a second game of a doubleheader between Bristol and North Shore was played, a bona fide pitchers duel where the Blues won a 1-0 contest. Now let's have a look at what we have for today. We do have a postponement in Nashua. So overnights were expected to play against the Martha's Vineyard Sharks at home, but that game has been postponed. It will be played on July 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In terms of other games, we have tonight's game. We have one other game going on in North Shore as the Navigators set to play host to the Brockton Rocks. So that being said, we will venture forward with tonight's game in a moment. But before we do that, as Billy alluded to earlier, Billy got the opportunity to sit down with Pittsfield Suns hitting coach Chris Barbarata, and we have the full exclusive interview here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Getting your child home safely.
Tap your views together 3 times.
Is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Standing here right now with hitting coach for the Pittsfield Suns, Chris Barbarata. Chris, how's it going today?
It's going well, Billy. How about you?
Doing well, a little chilly, hence the hoodie for me at least, but no matter what, it's still baseball weather. Now, just a few questions here. We all know the story about Kevin Donati, first at-bats with UAlbany. Tore his labrum during a swing, still got the double. Now he is a coach for the Suns on the bench. What kind of addition is that, knowing that it is a player who is still an active player, but now essentially a player coach who is on the DL?
It's kind of as much for Kevin right now as it is for the other players, kind of keep him in a positive frame of mind. You know, he's really competitive. He loves Pittsfield. He loves the league. So it's good to have him around. He can tell the kids a lot about the travel, about certain pitchers in the league. He's pretty much seen everything in his 2 years. So it's beneficial to both. It's good to have.
This is a second trip for a home and home in a very early season. First with Bristol, a home and home, and now with Worcester. You've seen enough of Worcester yesterday as well as in the seasons past, but how different is this Bravehearts lineup this year as opposed to years past?
It's still so early, it's hard to tell. You know, just like us, they have more players that are coming in. The league is so balanced that you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low. Early on, you just kind of try and keep your head above water and figure out what you got, and I think that Worcester's doing the same thing.
Worcester doing the same thing with the Suns. Really not too much with staying afloat right now in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. What do you think has been the big detractor for this 3-game losing streak?
Kids are still getting used to the atmosphere, the different pitching. We've had guys on base. We just haven't come up with that hit yet. We haven't seen anybody that's like totally shut us down. So And another big thing is they're adjusting to wood bats. These guys are all coming off of a full college season with using aluminum bats, and it's a big adjustment. So you're seeing the adjustments happen in batting practice slowly but surely. They're figuring out the meat of the bat is much smaller. I think as the weather warms up, I'm hoping our bats do also.
Just coming through the clubhouse, a lot of chuckling, a lot of laughing, but can you go further in depth on the team chemistry? I know it is early, but at least how it's progressing.
Seems like a lot of guys are very happy to be here so far. Of course, that changes when some guys are struggling and not getting as much playing time. But right now, everybody's optimistic and feel like they have a good chance to contribute and have a fun summer and get better.
Finally here for you, Coach Barbarata, what do the Suns have to do to get the win tonight that they need to be the most improved on in terms of games past this season?
I would say the clutch hit and on the back end of our bullpen, which we have confidence in, needs to just finish it out for us. We've been close in most of the games. We just need to finish.
Hitting coach for the Pittsfield Suns, Coach Chris Barbarata. Chris, thank you for your time. Good luck out there tonight and stay warm.
Thank you, Bill.
We'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So we got a little bit of time here until first pitch. So before we delve back into the FCBL, let's have a look at how the professionals are going right now. Not a lot of action going on as there are only, 5 games, one of which has already been played that have been set to stand today on a very slow Monday. Earlier today, game 1 of a doubleheader between the New York Yankees and Detroit Tigers was played. The Yankees won that bout by a score of 7-4. Getting the win, his 9th of the season, Luis Severino, who pitched 8 strong innings, going up against Drew Verhagen, who picked up the loss, sinking his record to 0-2 with an unsightly 9.22 ERA, with Aroldis Chapman gathering his 14th save of the season. Those very same Yankees and Tigers will face off in Game 2 of said doubleheader tonight. The Yankees push Domingo German to the mound, looking for his first win of the season, up against Mike Fiers of the Detroit Tigers, who's trying to get back on track after a few back-to-back rough outings. In addition, outside of Comerica Park, we have the Kansas City Royals in action taking on the LA Angels of Anaheim. The Royals will have Danny Duffy on the mound, looking to try to figure it out after a very disappointing start to the season, going against Nick Tropiano of the Angels, who will look to continue his strong start to the season. Out in San Francisco, the Giants look to get that back up to 500 against the Arizona Diamondbacks at home, but the Diamondbacks will have Zach Godley on the mound to oppose Derek Holland of the Giants. Wrapping up our day of baseball out in San Diego, the Padres and Clayton Richard will take on the Atlanta Braves, backed by Julio Teheran. So stepping away from the majors and talking about some FCBL action, specifically what we have going on here for tonight's game between the Suns and the Worcester Bravehearts, let's have a look at what the Bravehearts have for a starting 9. Leading off for the Bravehearts at shortstop is number 4, Chris Rinaldi. Residing in center for tonight's bout will be number 18, Joseph Hess. Hitting third and in right is number 15, Michael Delicari. Cleanup goes to the left fielder, number 17, Dakota McFadden, followed up by the first baseman, number 5, Mac Chelly. Batting sixth at the hot corner, number 21, Dustin Harris. He'll be followed up by the catcher, number 42, Derek Adamson. Hitting eighth is number 9, Alex Giannis, who will reside at second base. And following that up to finish off the Worcester Bravehearts lineup, the designated hitter, number 1, Mariano Ricciardi. And leading these men into battle for the starting pitcher will be number 25, Cody Lurieson for the Worcester Bravehearts. And now let's have a look at the starting lineup for your Pittsfield Suns. Leading off for the Suns is left fielder number 6, Alexander White, followed up by the hometown hero, number 18, center fielder Chad Shade. Hitting third and in right, number 14, Dylan Faircloth, with cleanup going to the shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale. Hitting fifth and residing at first base, number 21, Peter Marin. DHing it for the Suns and batting sixth, number 23, Nolan Cloutier. Hitting seventh and at second base will be number 29, Nick Gaston, followed up by the third baseman, number 1, Jack Kolomovic. And finishing off the Suns lineup, the tried and true catcher, number 19, Severino Simeone. And for the Pittsfield Suns, trotting out to the mound to start tonight's game will be number 10, Brian Johnson, who will be getting his first start of the season for the Suns. Johnson, the 5'11", 190 senior out of Springfield College. This past season, he pitched for Springfield. He did appear in 9 total games for the Pride, in which case he held a 2.18 ERA with a 3.2 record. In 53.2 innings, he allowed 41 hits, 13 earned runs with 18 walks to 53 strikeouts. In total, he's pitched 3 seasons with Springfield, and he has shown a capability of improvement. He had a 6.84 ERA his first season with Springfield, and ever since then, he has managed to track his career ERA with Springfield down to 3.29, which means, of course, he's had exceptional seasons 2 and 3. So that being said, we've talked about lineups for both sides, including going around the FCBL and even a trip to the Pro Bowl. And now, of course, with tonight's game a little bit about 10 minutes away, we've got for tonight's call none other than the tried and true Billy Madewell.
The tried and true. I like that introduction.
I mean, you know, it's not wrong.
As you can see, talking with home plate umpire, I just was motioning towards home plate umpire Mark Simpson. That's just a little inside joke between us. Home plate umpire for tonight's contest is, well, the aforementioned Mark Simpson. On the bases, Frank Nevis. Frank Nevis, multiple years as an umpire, both behind the home plate as well as on the bases here in Pittsfield. So a veteran crew out there for tonight, hopefully for a good and tightly contested ball game, and officiated as well.
Indeed. We've seen Nevis quite a lot here at Lakota Park. So that being said, we usually are accustomed to good officiating here, but with a familiar face like Nevis, we don't even have to worry about that.
And now, as you see currently, at least this is for currently in the field of play, in the right-handed batter's box, that is the Pittsfield Suns skipper, head coach, Matt Gedman. For Gedman, this is his second season with the Suns as a head coach, multiple more years on top of that as a pitching and hitting coach. Now on the right-handed batter's, left-handed batter's box, I should say, excuse me. For that, veteran manager J.P. Pine. He has well over 16 years of collegiate baseball officiated and managed. So you're going to see a game that is well managed on both sides. Tightly contested ball game here tonight. But for that, we are about 10 minutes away from first pitch, which gives us a lot of time to really talk about other things in the world of sports. And I'm going to throw this over to you, Andrew, and I'll have you pick a topic as opposed to me previously.
Very well. So right now in the trending world of sports, there are, I guess, a couple of things that could be discussed. We've got the Stanley Cup, Washington Capitals back on top there, and we've got the NBA Finals with the Warriors taking Game 2.
That's true. Game 3 is, I believe, Wednesday. They're taking a 2-day break?
That is correct. It is Wednesday at 9 p.m., set to be in Quicken Loans Arena.
And then for the NHL, I believe there's a game on tonight, if I'm not mistaken, and that will be in Washington.
Indeed, the Capitals taking Game 3 and Game 2, stealing momentum right away.
So let me clarify this. Yes, Game 4 is going to be tonight. Excuse me. Yes, tonight. 8 p.m. start. So we're going to be keeping up with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals in the nation's capital. But yes, the Capitals do have a 2-1 lead over the Vegas Golden Knights. So we'll certainly find out. But no matter what, you cannot say this is a failed season for the Golden Knights in their very first season.
Not a failed season, no, but I would like to ideally have it where that's not the narrative for the Golden Knights. Rather than, oh, they came way farther than anyone expected them to, like, oh, feel good story. I would rather it be the narrative like, oh, this is a team that got to the Stanley Cup. So what's next for them? Like, what are they going to do next year? Are they going to meet their suddenly high expectations? Like, I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, this team had, like, I think that they probably heard a lot of, oh, you guys were expected to do nothing, and now here you are. But I would, if they do go down to the Capitals, I would rather have it be, okay, well, they made it to the Stanley Cup. What's next?
And now we're going to listen in live for lineups for the Pittsfield Suns on the field.
Along with Jacob Fisher and Twin Bear, Alex White. Six center fielder for Peter and Jeff Gage. Starting in right field, along with Ryan Rickle, Dylan Fairclough, and shortstop, with the Nichols, Brian McHale. Starting at first base, along with Brandon Shea, Peter Aaron. Ninth designated hitter, Noah Woodgear. And second base, with Nico Trapuzzi, Nick Jackson. And third base, along with lefty right, Jeff Paulson. The remainder, along with Alex Hansen, Severino Simeone. And next starting pitcher, Ryan Johnson. For the Pittsfield Suns, along with Pittsfield Illinois A's, baseball money is brought to you by the Pittsfield Lawn Tractor. At this time, to please rise as we honor America. Singing tonight's national anthem, please welcome Bill Squires.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through all the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave?
On-field lineups have been announced. National anthem has been sung. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for Pittsfield Suns baseball. We're going to go through a quick express lineup here with the visiting Worcester Bravehearts, and our very own Andrew Ballarge is going to handle that.
Leading off, Chris Rinaldi. Second is Joe Pest, with third being Michael Delacari. Cleanup is Dakota McFadden, followed up by Mac Jelly. Dustin Harris hits sixth. Derek Adamson, seventh. Alex Gionis is eighth, and Mariano Ricciardi is ninth. They will go to battle with Brian Johnson.
Pittsfield Suns, C. Johnson, a true lefty, 5'11", 195 pounds, soon to be senior at Springfield College, teammate of center fielder Chad Shade at Springfield College in Springfield, Mass. Does have a fastball that dabbles just under 90 miles an hour. He's flirted with it. He's topped out at 89. He has a two-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup. He is a sports management major, so he's in the right profession, or at least in this point, amateur ball. And no, he's not the lead singer of AC/DC.
Nor does he play for the Boston Red Sox.
Exactly. This man is a three-letter winner at Nathan Hale Ray High School, was a two-sport athlete there as well, playing basketball. As Andrew attested before, 9 starts this season with an ERA of 2.18. And for his career, 22 appearances, 18 starts. He's gone 5-7. Really turned it around. 112 innings pitched, 104 hits, 56 runs, 41 earned, 41 walks, 106 strikeouts with a 3.29 ERA.
And someone who throws as hard as Brian Johnson does, it's not surprising to me that he's racked up a lot of strikeouts over his time.
Outfield dimensions are as follows here at Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park. 310 feet down the left field line, 377 in left field. Slides in by 3 feet in dead center. Goes to the power alley, 403, deepest part of the ballpark in right center field. And then down the right field line on a straight line from right center, it goes 98 feet to a cool 305. So for these Pittsfield Suns, again, current story of the ball game is that they are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, as tonight is Wacona Park T-shirt giveaway night, sponsored by Greylock Federal Credit Union and Greylock Insurance Agency. What is the big key, quickly, Andrew, for the Suns to get the victory today?
Well, I think hitting Coach Barbarata hit on one really good point that I think makes a lot of sense. Get that clutch hit. Like, they've been mounting up consistent offenses in the 2 games that they've had here at Wacona Park. But even when they scored a lot of runs against Brockton in opening day, their numbers with runners in scoring position were not that impressive, and they were even less impressive in their defeat to Bristol. So I would say that hitting with runners in scoring position is number 1, along with the usual.
Here is the lefty Brian Johnson. The very first pitch of the ball game is in there for a called strike. Count is 0-1 at 6:29 p.m. on a very chilly evening, a very chilly June evening at that. Here is the second pitch, well outside with a fastball. Now 1 ball, 1 strike here to the shortstop, number 4, Chris Rinaldi.
Rinaldi, a .389 hitter early out of the gate. 7 of 18, 6 runs scored with a couple walks and 3 strikeouts. Be careful for him on the base paths, however, as he's stolen 3 bags already.
The lefty with another fastball outside, now 2-1.
A true speedster atop the Worcester lineup. It's for good contact as well.
Here the 2-1, a hot shot right up the middle. And that one sent it right back where it came from, and he is on first base with a first man up, first man on with a single for Rinaldi.
And we talked about how Brian Johnson throws really, really hard. Well, Chris Rinaldi also hits really, really hard himself, and you could hear that his really good form, nice hard swing going up against Brian Johnson's heat. You can hear that smack right off the bat, probably from a mile away, as this thing heads up center field, easily going in for a base hit. Be careful from Rinaldi on the base paths.
First pitch here to the center fielder, number 18, Joseph Pesci, is in there, a called strike, 0-1.
467 hitters, 7 of 15, 3 runs scored. He's driven in 4 runs, walked 1, and struck out twice. He himself has also swiped a few bags at 3.
Here now the 0-1. That one hacked at and missed. Great curveball there from Johnson, pulling the string.
A great idea to go a little more movement and a little bit less heat on that one. It had Pesci fooled. It looked like there was a hole in his bat on that swing, as he was well ahead of that one.
So 2 bona fide stars going at it. That being, this pitch is low for a ball. You have 2 baseball players, one named after the lead singer of AC/DC, the other one named for, well, a man that likes to curse a lot in movies. A lot of Tarantino movies, a lot with Robert De Niro in them.
I'm so
glad. A little bit taller, a little bit slimmer as well. But
I'm so glad you just pointed that out.
Let's see how Hollywood wants to write the script. Well, first, we're going to have a throw over to Rinaldi over at first for a pickoff attempt, but back in there safely is Rinaldi, the shortstop.
It's going to take a lot of self-control for me to not make a ton of AC/DC references.
And we've already have Dave Matthews, now Brian Johnson, now Joseph Pesci, as the pitch is high and away for a ball. Now 2-2. We have way too much fun up here in the press box, Andrew.
Right.
JP Pine, the third base coach currently right now and skipper for the Worcester Bravehearts, electing for the signs. Leading off first is Rinaldi. Modest lead. As this one is right back to the pitcher. This could be two. A throw over to short for one. Over to first in time for a 1-6-3 double play.
And with guys that speedy at the top two positions in the order, you don't really expect grounding into double plays. It's something that happens too often, but this thing is hit right at Johnson. He corrals it easily. An easy throw into second and first, and they double him up easily.
And now, left-handed batter, right fielder, number 15, Michael Delacari, is stepping up to the dish. This will be the first lefty versus lefty matchup here today.
Delacari, a .313 hitter, 5 of 16, 4 runs scored. He's also hit a triple this season with 5 RBI and 3 walks. He's also stolen a couple of bases of his own as the Bravehearts like loading the top of their lineup with some speed.
That last pitch was inside for a ball. Now the 1-0. Good slider, however, this one is just a little bit high. And the count here now is 2-0 as we're starting to see a bit of a light drizzle onto the field.
Well, we're clearly not in threat of a sun delay, but I hope we don't get another different kind of delay.
This one, the 2-0. That one was a slider that kind of knuckled off Simeone's mitt, and that trickled away. Now it's 3-0, so a red light here for Delacari. As the pitch was well high, and that will be a 4-pitch walk to Delacari, the lefty.
Well, Brian Johnson isn't making this particularly easy on himself after he allowed the leadoff man to reach, and after a double play, he then allows the next batter to reach.
Now here's the left fielder, number 17, Dakota McFadden.
McFadden listed on the Worcester Bravehearts website as a pitcher. He has yet to take a plate appearance to this point of the season for the Bravehearts.
So a multiple position player here in McFadden as a pitch well outside. Good snare there by Simeone, the veteran catcher, to prevent a wild pitch and to keep Delacari on first.
And I know it's not exactly pouring rain out, but you have to imagine if it gets much worse, it's going to start interfering with Brian Johnson's ability to throw, Simeone's ability to catch, etc. You have to wonder how they're going to contend with the rain as it goes on.
Fastball right there about knee buckle high for a called strike. A ballless strike here as the rain is starting to pick up a little bit here. Johnson from the stretch, checks over on first, that being the lefty. And the pitch. Hot shot foul first base side out of play, and that one's going to be a souvenir. Everyone in the picnic area. Count is 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 men gone. Just getting underway here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Currently no score between the visiting Worcester Bravehearts and the hometown Pittsfield Suns. Johnson delivers the 1-2. This one a hot shot right into left field for a seeing eye single. And now runners on first and second with 2 men gone for the first baseman, number 5, Mac Shelley.
Having a look at Shelley's line, a 200 hitter, 3 of 15 to this point, but one of those hits was a 2-run homer. He also has an additional RBI to that 2-run shot on his resume to this point, and he's also walked it 3 times.
For the first baseman, first name is spelled M-A-C-K, so no, it is not Mark, it is Mac. C-H-E-L-I for Chelly, like cello with an I, not Kelly. That pitch, a late strike call there from Mark Simpson, the home plate umpire, around the knees. I'm going to call it strike 0-1. Time is called before the pitch. I believe Simeone, the catcher, was the one who called that. Johnson from the stretch, runners on first and second. Bravehearts threatening early. And the pitch, fastball just below the knees. This time trying to pound the lower part of the strike zone, but to no avail with this pitch. Count 1 ball, 1 strike.
Having a look at what we've got for weather tonight, looks like around 7 to 8 p.m. tonight, we could be looking at more rain. So that is something to keep an eye on as the game continues on.
We're looking to get a complete game in here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the 1-1. That one a fastball, another late strike call. That one at the knees. Confused with the pitch there is Shelley. Not sure where that one hit, but that one was over the plate. And according to home plate umpire Mark Simpson, it did catch the knees. So the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, 2 men on, 2 men gone. Against Brian Johnson, the lefty for the Suns. The 1-2. Hot shot, this one headed over towards second. Throw over to first, and that one will do it as Gaston throws over to Marin over at first.
Definitely not making it easy, but he got through the inning unscathed.
Forgot to mention one thing, and of course that was the defensive alignment for the Pittsfield Suns. You do have Johnson hurling to Simeone. From third to first, Kalumovic, McHale, Gaston, Marin, and from left to right, White, Shade, Faircloth. We're going to stay with you, ladies and gentlemen, here as in the inning, there were no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We now head to the bottom of the first. Suns due up, and with the starting lineup, here is, once again, Andrew Belargent.
Leading off, Alexander White, followed up by Chad Shade. Third is Dylan Faircloth, with cleanup being Brian McHale. Peter Marin hits 5th, followed up by Nolan Cloutier. 7th is the aforementioned Nick Gaston, who just ended the inning on that 4-3 putout. Jack Kolomovic hits 8th, and finishing off the order, we have Severino Simeone, and they will try to figure out Cody Loyerson of the Worcester Bravehearts.
Loyerson, not a fresh face here in the FCBL, been here last year as well, but as he is warming up, we're going to give you the defensive alignment for the Bravehearts, and of course he is throwing to Adamson, the catcher. From third to first, you have Harris, Rinaldi, Giannis, as well as Chelly, and then from left to right, McFadden, Pesci, Ricciardi. So a very cool, rainy, wet evening here in Pittsfield, as we're still in the beginning of June. At least here in the Berkshires, the weather is all over the place. So now as we get set here for the bottom of the first, you do have the leadoff hitter. That is the left fielder, number 6, Alexander White, in his second season with the Pittsfield Suns.
Looking at Alexander White in the early going, 143 hitter, 1 of 7. He has drawn 3 walks, though, which is tied for the team lead. He is finding ways of getting on base somehow.
Here is the first pitch for the visiting team. This one bounces in for a ball. The count here is 1-0 from Loyerson.
Looking at Loyerson, he was 5-3 with a 2.27 ERA in 18 appearances. He didn't start any games for the Bravehearts last season. He did, however, save 2 games in 35 total innings pitched, where he struck out 62 to 28 hits and 9 walks.
Latest pitch was in there for a called strike. As here is the 1-1. Pitch is low and away for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Loyerson with the Worcester Bravehearts last year as well, as a big swing and miss there from White, swinging through it. And the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Loyerson went 5-3 last season with a 2.27 ERA, as this one's a hot shot foul first base side, well out of play. And we'll go again from 2-2. And for the Pittsfield Suns, facing off against Loyerson. Get to that in just a minute, as here's the pitch. Check swing, but it doesn't matter. It's in there for called strike 3. Loyerson already with a strikeout. This one on the called third strike.
Well-located pitch. He takes him around the lower part of the plate and gets him looking at that one. Very, very good pitch from Loyerson.
Center fielder number 18, Chad Shade from Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Looking at Chad Shade, off to a solid start. 286 hitter, 4 of 14 with a couple doubles, a couple RBI. He's walked 1 and he's stolen a base in the early going.
Fastball in there, thigh high for a called strike, 0-1. Next pitch, the lone outside corner. No, too far low and outside. A ball and a strike. Only faced off against the Suns twice, that being Loyerson last season. That one is low for a ball. Now is 2-1. And for those two games against the Suns, one was here in Pittsfield, and that was June 29th, as in 2/3 of an inning, gave up one run that was unearned, 2 hits as well as this one's a high fly ball going out to deep left center field. McFadden going back. He is on the track, and he will reach up near the warning track as he is able to collect the out for a big second out here in the first.
Well hit, but not hit hard enough. We've seen that so many times here at Wacona Park. He got some good power underneath it, got the barrel of the bat on it, some good contact, but just not enough to find any sort of ground there in the outfield. It ends up just being a second out of the inning.
Right fielder number 14, Dylan Faircloth, going to take some hacks now, playing in between first base and the outfield.
Faircloth hitting an even 200. That's 3 of 15 with a double, 4 RBI. He's walked once and he struck out twice.
Pitch from Laurieson, fastball outside corner. Great location here early on from Laurieson. An 0-1 count with 2 men gone. Now the 0-1 count here is to Faircloth. Here's the windup and the delivery. Fastball, this one trickles too far low. A ball and a strike. Pitch, fouled off, headed towards Matt Gedman, who hands it, doesn't glove it. The Pittsfield Suns, when they faced off against Laurieson at home last season, 4 innings for Laurieson, 10 strikeouts, and 14 batters faced. This one, a broken bat headed towards short, backhanded there by Rinaldi. Throw over to first is in time, and that will end the inning. So in the inning, it is a 1-2-3 inning for Laurieson and the Worcester Bravehearts defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We have completed 1 full inning of work here and of baseball here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Currently no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Worcester Bravehearts. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back to live action. First pitch, lower inside corner for a called strike. As we're going to the third baseman, number 21, Dustin Harris. The count is 0-1.
Harris, a 250 batter, 4 of 16, 4 RBI to this point with a couple walks.
Next pitch, lone outside corner. No, too far low. Maybe outside as well. Now 1 ball, 1 strike.
From a fielding perspective, though, 3 committed errors, though, and with tonight's weather being the way it is, that's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Well, there are swinging errors, nearly losing the bat. There was Harris on the swing and miss. He tried to golf this one out to right field and try to chip it in for par, but I'm afraid he's going to have to double bogey and make a drop. Here now the 1-2. This one shifted foul right back towards the dugout, and it goes in the dugout on a last-minute hop.
An ugly swing right there from Harris. That pitch very, very slow, very clearly well high. Would have definitely been called a ball, but takes a hack at it. Would have definitely been a ball, too.
The 1-2. This one too far inside, it appears. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the second inning. No score between the Bravehearts and the Suns. Lefty versus lefty again, as this one is a hot shot bloop single into center field. Great job of Dustin Harris being able to fight back there after having 2 strikes on him.
And Johnson proving to be very, very hittable to this point of the ball game. Even when he's not giving up base hits, which he's already given up 3 of in the second inning, he's been giving up some very hard hit fouls in general. He's really going to have to try to continue pounding the strike zone, but be a little bit less predictable.
Here's the catcher, number 42, Derek Adamson, stepping in the right-handed batter's box.
Adamson in his 3rd game for the Bravehearts this season. He's 2 of 6. He has a 2-run homer on the season to go with 2 walks.
Here is the pitch. Fastball right there. A thigh high, called strike, 0-1. Harris not taking too much of a lead there off first. Very modest.
Harris hasn't stolen the bag to this point in the season, so he might just naturally not be inclined to try to go for second.
Speaking of, there's a pickoff attempt towards first. He's back in safely. Say about 6-7 feet off the bag. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Derek Adamson, the catcher. It is a rainy day in Pittsfield. The 1-1 foul back behind us. And that one hits a fire hydrant and slams right into the ground, does not move. A ball, 2 strikes, man on first. Harris, not too much of a lead over on first, but on a rainy day, going to have to watch out for the pitchers. Their grip is not going to be what it would be normally on a normal day, as the pitch is well outside and low. Now 2-2. Johnson from the stretch. Checks on first. Here's the pitch. Cut on a miss there from Adamson. Great late break there with the changeup from Johnson, able to get the K.
He has some great speed on his stuff. He can really blow it by guys, and we've seen his off-speed stuff is great. And that was a great pitch from him right there for his first strikeout of the ball game. He can keep up that deception. He can rack up quite a few more.
Second baseman number 9, Alex Giannis, will now step up to the dish as the number 8 batter.
Giannis, a 2-14 hitter, 3 of 14 this season with an RBI. He is prone to going down by way of the K, however, as he has 6 strikeouts already.
Beautiful slider there from Johnson as he backdoored him with a slider. Great location. And the count here 0-1. Checking on first is Johnson, and the pitch. Fastball outside corner. They're rolling it too far outside. And the count here, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rain is at a steady pace here in Pittsfield. Again, hoping to get a complete game in here tonight. Here's the 1-1 as a runner with a late break. It's actually fouled off on the hit and run attempt.
Luckily for the Suns defense there, as I don't think they would have had him at second at all.
Scampering back over to first with a lightly paced jog there is Harris. JP Pine, again, the manager, the third base coach currently. He's sitting over on third, giving instructions. Giannis awaits at the plate as Johnson delivers the 1-2. Slider in a beauty. Catches him right on the black on the outside corner, called strike 3.
Oh, beautiful. Johnson's really showing off his best stuff in these last 2 batters. Back-to-back strikeouts. That one didn't have a chance. Oh, man, he can have a long outing if he can keep that type of stuff up.
And now the final man to come to the plate who hasn't already, the number 9 hitter, designated hitter number 1, Mariano Ricciardi.
He's only played in 1 game for Worcester to this point, and in that game, he went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts.
Pitch is inside, maybe I would say low rather. So a ball, no strikes, 2 men gone, man on first. Mariano Ricciardi, brother of Dante Ricciardi, longtime player in the FCBL as well. Here's the kick and delivery. That one a slider. Had a late break that kind of confused Ricciardi there as he backed up before the pitch was even caught. It's a beautiful slider, especially in this weather, Andrew.
Oh, indeed. He's got his best stuff on display tonight.
Ball a strike, 2 man gone, a man on. Johnson checks over on first, delivers. Fastball just below the knees there of Ricciardi. 2 balls and a strike. Ricciardi, a very slim player. He's actually the smallest on the team, sitting in at 5'7", 165 pounds. Pitch. Oh, completely fooled him there as he backs up in. I'm not sure if he was trying to get out of the way and just stab at it, but unfortunately, this ain't cricket. That's not going to do you much.
I think he tried to do a little jig with that swing. That really slipped on the quickly getting wetter by the moment ground. It was a beautiful pitch by Johnson.
2-2 again, the same exact motion as this one going into right field. It bloops in, and that's either going to test to the throw over to third. Actually hits the batter, and that is going to be a single for Ricciardi with a slap hit that goes into right field.
He also managed to advance onto second as well.
So a slap single that goes into right center field, and both runners advance off of it. So he proved us wrong with that. Just a slap hit that bloops just over the infield. So here's a pitch to Rinaldi, fastball, and this one is low and outside. And the count here is 1-0 after a slap single and advancement by Mariano Ricciardi, taking advantage of his size, really. Just slapping this one over.
He kind of just stabbed at the thing, too. Didn't really look like he had much conviction behind the swing, but I guess that's baseball for you. That's the luckiest single I think I've seen this season.
Here's Johnson with a 1-0. This one actually, oh boy, that one hit right off of Rinaldi. He's going to take some time here to walk that one off. A ball, a strike, 2 men gone, 2 runners on, both in scoring position. As a throw in that came in from shade out in center actually struck the back of Dustin Harris, which allowed him to head over to third safely. Otherwise, the throw was well in time. Just a tag would have been needed to be applied, obviously, and he would have been out. But then heads up play there by Mariano Ricciardi, heading over to second on the play. Johnson with the 1-1. Fastball that is low. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. So there's only 1 force out right now, and that is over at first. With the windup, here's Johnson with the pitch. Hot shot hit it towards third. Grab there by Kalumovic. Throw over to first in time, saving a run if not 2.
Great fielding on that play there. And Johnson once again gets hit up a little bit, but gets out of the inning unscathed.
So in the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Very similar to the first inning where we had the exact same scenario. As we have completed 1.5 innings, there is still no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Worcester Bravehearts. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, Do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Quick station identification. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Madewell alongside Andrew Belarchin at Paul Downfield at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Currently no score here as we head to the top, I should say bottom of the second. Worcester Bravehearts against the Pittsfield Suns. No score. First pitch. And that one is in there for a called strike. This one to the shortstop, number 5, Brian McHale. And the next pitch, fastball outside corner for a called strike 2 quickly.
McHale 7 of 14 with 3 doubles, 2 RBI to 3 walks.
Next pitch a little bit too far outside. Try to get him there, but to no avail. Larry Send with the pitch. Slapped at that one, foul. Sharply hit ball that was fouled off.
Just rolls over to the Worcester dugout as well. Still got a steady stream of light rain coming around.
Next pitch, that one drops in low for a ball. And the count now is 2 balls, 2 strikes. McHale, early on in the season, betting a cool 500, easily one of the best hitters for the Suns thus far. Pop foul first base side, and that one will go out of play. Seven of 14 with 3 doubles out of those 7 hits, as this one is off the end, the barrel of the bat, and that one just goes over the first baseman, Shelley. Will go into right field for the Suns' first hit of the evening.
Very lightly tapped, got some air time there, and was able to get out of the infield for the Suns' first base hit of the game. Well hit.
It's the first baseman, number 21, Peter Marin. He's sitting at first base.
Peter Marin hitting a pretty decent 286 to this point. He's played in 3 games, going 2 of 7 with a double. Looking at Brian McHale, he's 1 for 2 in stolen bases this season. Wondering if he's going to get tagged or run to this point.
Pitches upstairs here to Marin. Count here 1-0. Marin undeclared on his major. Only played in 7 games with 1 start here this season for Bucknell. 1-0. Well upstairs now, 2-0. Again for Peter Marin for a perfect game. Ranked 148th in the country. That being the 148th player. 14th best player in Connecticut. Top 3rd baseman in Connecticut as well. Next pitch is following suit upstairs again. The count here is 3-0, so a free pitch here for Marin. Unless they want to try to test something out. Racing with a sign and the pitch. That one red dead as it's right in there, called strike. 3 balls and a strike with a man on, nobody gone here in the bottom of the second. Again, no score between the Bravehearts and the Suns. Here is the 3-1. That's a fastball that's also in there as he nods and he knew it. 5 pitches, no swings. It's a full count. And we'll see what McHale wants to do with a short lead. He's actually going to dive over to first and get his jersey dirty a little bit.
And on that last pitch, it looked like Marin kind of red lighted it on that one as if it were another 3-0 count there. Marin trying to get aboard via base on balls, but he's got to do a little bit more work than that.
The runner does go. This one swung on a miss for, let's see, they're going to rule interference. They're going to rule him interference. So that's going to be a strikeout, throw out, double play as Marin swung and went over the plate and then interfered with Adamson. So that one's going to be ruled caught stealing.
Yeah, rough play on that one for Peter Marin. It looked like he would have easily slid on into second, but of course, batter's interference is going to prevent that from happening and create a very strange double play that's going to clear the bases and have 2 outs on the board.
So here is a designated hitter number 23, Nolan Cloutier.
Cloutier hitting a 167 line to this point. He's got 1 base hit, which was a double in 6 tries. He also walked once.
Here's a pitch. That one's in there, a called strike, red light, and that one all the way. Count here is 0-1. Next pitch. That one. It is ruled as strike. However, this one was a good 2 inches off outside the plate. Count is 0-2. Next pitch. Same spot, but this one is ruled a ball. So ball, 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Again, very similar spot, pounding the outside corner, but this one just missing. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to get comfortable in that one spot, seeing if he can get that called 3rd strike. Hasn't worked out from his last 2 pitches.
That one at the knees, called strike 3. And that will end the inning with back-to-back strikeouts, 3 overall for Lorverson. No runs, 1 hit, his first hit given up, no errors, and nobody left on. We now head through 2 full innings to the top of the 3rd with no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the visiting Worcester Bravehearts. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your books.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Back to live action, right back up to the pitcher, over his glove to the shortstop, gloves it, throws over to first, the throw is offline.
Difficult play to make there, especially in the rain, but even in good weather, that would have been a tricky play to make as the ball is very, very slow, dribbling right up the middle. It's difficult to charge the ball, perfectly corral, and then throw it onto first, especially when you have a speedy base runner contesting you the whole way. Really difficult to do something about that. That's a very well done infield single.
Waiting on the ruling as here is Delicari, the right fielder. He walked his first time up. Pitch inside corner, but too far low against the lefty. Count here is 1-0. Next pitch also inside. Now the count here is 2-0. Here's the 2-0. This one jabbed at, and that one sticks right in the ground, barely dribbles away from the plate. Count is 2-1. Here is the 2-1. One drops low for another ball. Now the count here is 3-1. Here to the right fielder, number 15, Michael Delacari. (3-1). Late strike call as Delacari was waiting for it. Didn't get it through his bat, but then it was called. Late strike call. That was not his fault for that. From the stretch. Payoff. Hot shot foul, first base side. Another payoff. Again, going at this one. Trapped there by the first baseman. Throw over to second for one, and eating that one is McHale. Great stop from Peter Marin.
Yeah, not really much of a chance at turning two. It's getting the ball off the ground. Was a little bit tricky, as of course.
Now hold on. Are they ruling that a double play? They're ruling sliding interference for a double play.
Oh.
(3-6) on the throw, and the nearest fielder was the shortstop, so that is going to be an out, not a fielder's choice. Here's McFadden. First pitch is high for a ball. Count here is 1-0. It has been ruled a hit for Joseph Pesci. Has that one in there, called strike. Next pitch, holding off on this one. The next pitch is also drops down low. Three balls and one strike, two men gone. After an interference call at second, this one ripped, headed towards McHale, who gloves it to his rib cage, throws over to first in time.
Sort of a blooper throw right there.
So back-to-back interference calls for both half innings, one for the bottom of the second, now for the top of the third. This brings it to no runs off one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We now head through 2.5 to the bottom of the third. No score between the Bravehearts and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Bottom of the third and the bottom of the order here for the Pittsfield Suns in the bottom of the third. Second baseman here, number 29, Nick Gaston, taking his first hacks today as the number 7 batter.
Gaston still looking for his first base hit in 4 appearances. He struck out on 3 of those.
First pitch there was a called strike there to Gaston. A fastball. Here's the next pitch. Cut on and missed, though, that one. Count now was 0-2.
Definitely pressed on that pitch quite a lot. The swing was very, very early.
Now the 0-2. Pitch well in the dirt and away. For Nick Gaston, he's got a scouting report out, and he's at 8.5 out of 10, which is in between a potential draft pick or an excellent college prospect, as this one is off the end of the bat, going foul. The count remains 1-2.
Another very early swing on that one. He's really looking a little bit amped at the plate.
And between that and he's also a potential top 10 round pick or highest level college prospect. Again, slap foul. Continuing the scouting report, medium athletic frame with square shoulders and sports present strength. Additional room to still fill out. Ran a 4.98 40-yard dash. He's a primary middle infielder. Moves well on feet to get behind the ball. Holding off on this one as that one drops low. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wide base fielding. Works through the backhand. Arm strength plays to the left side of infield very well. That one is in there for a called strike finally.
And he knew it the whole way. Got a little bit too patient trying to work the count more in his favor, but he should have at least taken a defensive hack at that one. He did look awfully uncomfortable on that at-bat, swinging very, very early when he did take the bat off his shoulders. But nevertheless, he goes down by way of the K.
3 straight strikeouts here for Larson, tailing back to last inning, 4 overall. There's the third baseman, number 1, Jack Kalumovic, batting from the left side.
Kalumovic, much like Gaston, still he is off to a bit of a slow start to this point, as he is just 1 for 11 in 3 games with an RBI and a strikeout.
Pitch is outside corner, but it's high. The count here now 1 ball, no strikes to Kalumovic. Pitch, slap foul, third base side, out of play. Here is the windup and the pitch. That's low for a ball. Two balls and a strike. A man gone here for Kalumovic against Cody Laurie-Racine. And the pitch. Half-hearted swing, but he does collect it for the swing and miss.
A bona fide golf club swing right there. Definitely off balance, guessing very, very wrong on the location of that pitch. And got himself into a little bit of a hole here.
Got more of a chip shot out of the bunker swing as this one heads over towards the third baseman. Harris throws over to first, and he is in time after a bit of a step off there from Shelley, but he steps back on with his right foot. So that's a 5-3 putout.
It was less of a throw than it was a toss. It looked like he kind of just flicked his wrist and threw it over at first. It was a bit of a weak throw, and it almost actually didn't get there on time. Kind of rushed, honestly.
Catcher number 19, Sevi. That is Severino Simeone.
Simeone hitting .500 and an even 1 for 2 with a couple walks to this point.
Here is the pitch. Fastball. This one misses the outside corner. A ball, no strikes, 2 men gone.
As far as doing his job behind the plate, Billy, I think you and I would agree. He's been very, very sturdy to this point in the season.
Next pitch is in there for a called strike on the lower outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. No pass balls given up thus far here against Simeone. Here is the 1-1 as this one skips in the dirt. Gets away there from Adamson, the catcher. If you're looking for a strong, sturdy, willed catcher, look no further than Sevi Simeone. 2 balls to strike. The pitch. Hot shot down the left field line, but it's foul.
Push on that one just a little bit. Good hit. Maybe more around the middle part of the bat, though.
Two balls, two strikes, two-man gone. Laurie has a sign. Wines deals. Half-hearted swing, and he got him with that one. Another strikeout here from Laurie.
Well, if we remember him from his last appearance here at Wacona Park, we know this guy knows how to put guys down that way, and he's doing exactly that tonight.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And for Laurie goes through the first time through the order and faces the minimum. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on through three full, the third of the way through the game, weather pending. There's still no score between the Worcester Bravehearts and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your book.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Do you suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work? Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Just had a brief delay. We're getting a mound a little bit of quick dry as the pitch is upstairs and away from Mac Shelley. Grounded out to second base his last time out. So a quick 2-minute delay. As this one's a rip shot going into deep center field. Going back is Chad Shade. And this one is over the wall and gone. Mac Shelley, this one was a bullet and decided, yes, I do want to go over the fence today. And a solo shot for Shelley, the first baseman, is the first run of the game. A solo shot. It is 1-0, and that belongs to the Worcester Bravehearts.
Talk about an opening salvo. Just got a great bat underneath that thing, and this ball just continued to carry until it left the park.
This first pitch here to Dustin Harris. That one drops low for a ball. 1-0.
Ryan Johnson has been very, very hittable today. And got the better of him right there.
Now the 1-0 slider that does hit the inside portion of the plate. Great slider. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch, a check swing. He did not go. Not even going to appeal at it as the pitch was low. Balls, 1 strike for Chelly. It's his 2nd homer of the season and 4th RBI. So the quick dry helps out Chelly in this accord. As time is called here by Dustin Harris. The 2-1. Oh, he checked his swing. It was up and in. He did go.
Of course, that was just a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to how tight that thing was coming in. Unfortunate for Harris that it resulted in him going around.
2-2. As he tried to get out of the way, he did swing for it. This one, well, there's no doubt about this one. This one drops in low for a ball. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Already a homer given up here in the inning. Big swing and miss there from Harris for strike 3. So a little bit of confidence booster there for Johnson, who just gave up a solo jack.
And he had Harris completely confused on that one. A couple of really ugly swings finished off by, looked like Harris was trying to press at the plate there. And as a result, he's heading back to the dugout after going down.
Catcher number 42, Derek Adamson, Slider. Beautiful slider. That really works well there for Johnson. This one backdoor, and that's a called strike 0-1. And Johnson has a fastball, 2-seam slider and change. Tries his slider there. It does not break. A ball, a strike. 1 man gone. 1 hit in the inning, which was a solo home run. Aces are wild at this pitch. As this one drops low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Johnson with a pitch. Off the end of the bat, fair foul. It is foul. Readjusting himself is Johnson. Much the same of Adamson with an open stance. Here's a 2-2. Swung on and missed, and it is gloved there by Simeone. So that's strikeout number 2 in a row here for Johnson.
Just really tied him up on that one. Came in very, very tight. Tried to get him in on the hands and tighten him up, and Addison absolutely obliges. Back-to-back strikeouts by way of swinging for Brian Johnson.
4 strikeouts now, 1 looking, and the one person who looked was the man here at the dish. Second baseman number 9, Alex Gionis, as the pitch. I didn't see a strike ruled. That'll be a ball. That one looked like it was upstairs. A ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. Ripped on the third base line, but that one is foul. Goes into the tarp. And the count now, a ball, a strike.
Seems like it might have gone right into the tarp.
The windup and the deal. The 1-1, beautiful changeup, especially on the timing of it from Johnson. And he could strike out the side here. But then the next pitch or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, depending on foul balls, of course. This one tapped over towards third. Takes a weird hop, but gloving this one is Kalumovic. Throw over to first is in time, and that will end the inning.
Not the most accurate of throws, but a real rocket arm there on the first, and that ends the inning.
It's not a 1-2-3 inning, but a 2-3-4 inning. This is thanks to the second homer of the year by Mac Chelly. a solo shot to lead things off with the second pitch of the inning. So 1 run off that one hit. No errors and nobody left on. Through 3.5 innings, we now head to the bottom of the 4th, where the Pittsfield Suns now find themselves for the first time tonight trailing. They find themselves trailing by a score of 1-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
FeedThePig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
Huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
See store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to FeedThePig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
Here in the bottom of the 4th, we now head through the second time through the lineup. And for the Pittsfield Suns, left fielder number 6, Alexander White, led off the offense for the Suns with a strikeout that he went down looking. First pitch swinging, and this one going over to third. Throw over to first is in time. 1 pitch, 1 gone.
Well, you like the approach, a different approach from back in the first inning when he was overtly conservative, and it doesn't work out from there, but changing up in his approach will work out from eventually.
Got to find some middle ground. First overly passive, then the next overly aggressive. I agree, Andrew. Center fielder number 18, Chad Shade. He flew out to a deep left center field his previous time up. Here he is, a pitch. Holds off on the first pitch on the curveball of sorts. Here's a 1-0 from Laurie Resend. Check swing, but it doesn't matter. It's in there nonetheless. Called strike. A ball, a strike. A man gone. A 1-1. Another check swing. He does not go as this one drops low. 2 balls, a strike here to the hometown kid, Chad Shade from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Went to Pittsfield High School. Swings at this one, reaches out, but this one looks like it's going foul, and it will go out of play. So leaving things up at 2-2. So the rain has subsided, but still the chill remains here in Pittsfield.
We're expecting more in about half an hour, though, so I wouldn't say we're out of the woods just yet.
This one drops low again, and this one a good eye there from Shade. Brings it full at 3-2. Lorberson already has the sign and the pitch. A quick pace, a payoff. Called strike 3, and Shade is headed towards first.
Well, now he's heading back to the dugout. I don't really know where the discrepancy was there, but that looked like it pretty clearly hit the inside corner.
I think it was wondering if that one was lower at the knee level, and he thought it was below it. Here's right fielder number 14, Dylan Faircloth. He grounded out too short. His first time up to end the first. Here's the pitch. Hot shot up the middle, and that one's going to dunk in for a seeing-eye single into center field.
About time someone got Lorberson a little bit off the ledger there, as he's had all the momentum throughout this entire game, up to Faircloth to get faced just the minimum. Faircloth finally breaks that up a little bit, at least for now, with a rocket shot up the middle to get on base.
That is the second hit for the Pittsfield Suns tonight. The first, well, that was Brian McHale in the second. It was only ruled out at second base due to batter interference during a strikeout and then interference at a stolen base attempt. So McHale here has 2 men called, a man on. Here's the pitch. Broken bat past the pitcher, going towards the second baseman, flip over to short. That will end the inning on a fielder's choice for 6. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Through 4 full, like the game is really going by very quickly. It's already the top of the fifth, 1-0. The Bravehearts lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
Top of the fifth, but bottom of the order it starts off with number one, Mariano Ricciardi, the designated hitter. A slap single that just blooped into right field his last time up. He holds off on this one as this one's in there. Cold strike. Count here is 0-1. He has a very unorthodox swing that reminds me of softball. Here the 0-1 backs off it, but nearly slips along the way. So we'll leave things up at 1-1.
Trying to play limbo down there in the batter's box.
Here the 1-1. Well, that one, whoa.
Ooh.
That one had a lot of English to it, but it was outside. Then it Englished in. 8-ball corner pocket. 2-1. That one is ruled. No, not sure where it missed. It's on the outside corner. Look good from here, but nonetheless, it's ruled a ball. 3-1. Johnson with the pitch. This one a hot shot headed towards third and short. Third baseman there throws over to first in time. Kolomovic with another strong throw from third.
Strong, but a little bit high. He's got a. Looks like he's kind of aiming it. And now he hasn't had a fielding error to this point in the game, but especially with how, of course, I'll knock on wood, especially with how wet it is, with how wet the ball could be getting. You know, he might have want to aim it a little bit less, or that could be disastrous for the team in the near future.
And with it being cold, it constricts the blood flow as well, which would affect, of course, your throwing. First pitch to Rinaldi. This one over the head of the second baseman. That one dunks in to right field for a base hit. So Rinaldi on base for the second time today. A multi-hit ball game for the shortstop.
And again, I would just like to put out the thinking that Brian Johnson has been extremely hittable tonight. He's given up a base hit of some kind in every inning to this point. To constantly contend with some form of base runner, or in the case of last inning, one that cleared the wall. And it's very fortunate that he's only given up one run to this point.
And his best and worst inning was the fourth. Best because he only faced 4, and then he went 3 in a row. Worst because that's where the earned run came from with a solo shot from Matt Shelley.
Still, at this point, 7 base hits given up.
Here's a pitch. That one's in there for a called strike to center fielder Joseph Pesci. Pesci is currently 1 for 2 on the day, grounded into a 1-6-3 double plays first time up, and then a single, and he was then put out in a double play due to interference, that is. Off the end of the bat, in the air, right to the pitcher, and collects the out.
Talk about a do-it-yourself pitcher right there. And a good job from Brian Johnson to recognize where the ball was, position himself, and make a pretty carefree-looking catch for the second out of the inning.
So an easy pop-up, and now here is the right fielder, Michael Delacari. Rinaldi sits over at first. Good lead there as this one in the dirt. Good block again from Simeone. And the pitch drops low again. And count now 2-0. Looks like some Suns players are running out to the bullpen. Potentially get someone warmed up for possibly next inning, if not after. Here's a 2-0 outside corner, but drops low now 3-0 to Delacari. And by warm up, I mean not just weather-wise, but also to get the arm going as well. And in order to warm up, well, you're going to have to sit next to a fire, some source of warmth and heat.
And a good point is Brian Johnson, after this pitch, has hit 87 pitches.
So this will more than likely be his last inning unless he gets it out with this very next pitch. Unless Gedman has other plans. It's a 3-1.
He has a couple pitches to work with, but not much.
3-1 outside corner. No, it's not ruled on the outside corner. That one's ruled ball 4. Very close pitch. As here is Shalikis. He's going to stall for time, it appears. So time is called.
The only way Brian Johnson would be eligible to come out next inning is if this very next pitch generates an out of some sort.
So again, a quick meeting on the mound here between Simeone, Shalikis as well. Brandon Shalikis, former Pittsfield Sun player for 2 years, telling the bullpen to start wrapping things up because it looks like they are going to use the pitcher in short order. Find out who it is. It looks like a right-handed hurler. I think that was number 40.
Looks like Mike Demarest is warming up in the pen right now.
Here's the pitch. Well, that one's in there for a called strike to Dakota McFadden, the left fielder. He's 1 for 2 on the day. And Johnson borrowing a pickoff that does go complete. He will not see next inning. Checking on first and second. Here's a pitch. That one drops just below the knees for a ball. A ball, a strike, 2 gone, and 2 on. Call it 2 pair.
Give Brian Johnson credit. He's dealt with a lot of trouble today, and a lot of it was self-induced, but it didn't result to this point in any particular ugly numbers in the scoreboard.
1-1 popped well foul, first base side out of play.
He's pitched a pretty solid outing. He's not going to get to go for the quality start, but the start in itself was quality.
Sure, he's given up 7 hits thus far, but again, only one real mistake, and that was a solo homer by Chelly. Check on second here for Johnson, the 1-2. This one right back to him, and he will glove it. Throw over to first in time, and that will end the inning. So Johnson ends his outing with a high note, collecting the out himself. So in the inning, no runs off of 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We now head to the bottom of the 5th with a 1-0 lead for the Worcester Bravehearts, currently over the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There is no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travel.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Cody Laurierson putting out a fantastic outing here for the Bravehearts.
Just one above the minimum to this point. He's also only at 57 pitches, so he still has room to continue generating outs.
It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters, Marin, Cloutier, and Gaston. All three men have struck out. Well, this one won't be the same. This one goes up the middle. The shortstop gathers. Rinaldi throws over to first, and it's in time. One pitch, one gone.
Excellent fielding there on that one. That one was really, really tough. It was a bit of a skipper right past the mound, and that's going to be tough on any shortstop to make, especially given how wet the ground is and how wet the ball is getting as it rolls through the wet ground. Beautiful fielding effort, and that just keeps Loyerison's momentum going with the one pitch, one out to begin the inning.
Not to mention the trek from short all the way to the second base side of second base.
Showing off the wheels as well.
Designated hitter number 23, Nolan Cloutier, as this one's fouled off first base side. Both men first pitch swinging, however, this one's not in play. It's fouled off. Next pitch is well high for Cloutier. Here they count 1 ball, 1 strike. One holds off on the pitch as this one is a fastball. Does hit the outside corner, or I should say outside part of the plate, but it's too low. So it's 2-1. Loyerisson with the pitch. Hot shot foul first base side. We'll go from 2-2 now. With a sign and nod, Loyerisson with the pitch. A little bit up and in, nearly got a piece there of Cloutier, but he backs up enough away from it. It'll be a full count pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man gone. Payoff. Cut on a miss for strike 3. Cloutier down for the second time. This one on the opposite end of called third strike. This one swinging. And now another man has been called out on strike 3. Second baseman, number 29, Nick Gaston.
Loyerisson is just rolling up there on the mound. None of these Suns hitters can touch him. He's almost made his way through the order for the second time, and the Suns have really not been able to mount up an offense of any sort against him.
64 pitches, 40 strikes, 7 strikeouts. Add another strike onto the board as that one's in there, called strike.
Oh, that pitch was filthy. I think that might have been his best one tonight.
Well, that one, not too much of the same, that one. That one a bit high and away, a ball on a strike.
No, but it was great. It started off a little bit out and away, and it had some really intriguing bite to it at the end, and it caught the corner. You're not touching that one, no matter who you are.
That one was fouled out, count out 1-2. I believe Loyerisson said, I don't think he has a cutter. However, I do believe he has a 2-seam fastball.
That's probably what that was then.
A shakeoff has it, winds, deals. That one foul tipped into the mitt, and that will end the inning with another strikeout for Loyerisson, his 8th on the day.
And they just can't touch him no matter who is up at the plate right now.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We now head to the top of the 6th, new pitcher of the ball game for the Suns. Looks like the Mariners will be the one hurling the baseball. But in the meantime, to the top of the 6th we go. 1-0, Bravehearts lead the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
New pitcher in the ballgame for the Suns, taking over for Brian Johnson, is none other than reliever number 40, Mike Demarest. Demarest did have an appearance earlier this season. It did not go too well. He pitched an inning and a third, yielded 1 base hit, 3 runs, 2 earned, walked 1, but in that one he did take the loss, so he has an inflated 13.5 ERA right now.
Of course, with it being this early in the season, you're always going to see any ERA going to be inflated.
Right, of course. So I would, of course, take that number with a grain of salt. That said, that will end the night of Brian Johnson, the starter. Johnson hurled 5 complete innings, faced 22 batters, gave up 1 earned run, had to deal with 7 base hits, one of which was a long ball, which put the Bravehearts in the lead. He walked a couple and struck out 4 in 92 pitches. Admirable performance from Johnson. However, he cannot receive the victory, and right now he is in line for the loss.
So this will be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here for Demarest. However, the first man up, well, he was the first man up when he was up to the plate last time, and he hit a solo shot to dead center field. It's Mac Chelly. Demarest with the nod, lines and deals his first pitch of the ball game, hits him. I don't think there's going to be a second homer in a row with that one, as this one just slips off the hand of Demarest. And this is, again, what we're talking about with warming up and making sure that you have a grip on the ball. Apparently this one not to full effect here for Demarest, as this is a hit by pitch.
Exactly, and that was always going to be a concern. It's very, very cold out right now. Rain is making it difficult to get a good grip on the ball. Demarest sluggish out of the gate here as he gives off the first base runner already.
Second pitch of the ball game. Well, that one is very close to being a strike. However, it just misses against a left-handed batting third baseman, Dustin Harris. It's 1-0. Runner on first is Mac Chelly. And the pitch. Well outside off the glove there of the catcher. And advancing over to second is going to be Chelly. That one's going to be ruled a wild pitch. That was well out of the reach of Simeone.
And again, Demarest really struggling out of the gate with his command, and you have to wonder how much of that can be attributed to the environment around him right now. Very, very cold, very wet. It's still drizzling a little bit out. It didn't look like he had much time to warm up in the bullpen at all. So I don't envy his position right now.
Here's a 2-0. Again, well out of the reach there of Simeone. However, he is able to grab this one. It's 3-0, 4 straight balls, already a runner on, hit by a pitch. From the stretches, Demarest checks second, and the pitch. Fastball, that's dead red in there. Called strike, 3-1.
In that situation, the only thing you can really do is try to blow it right past him. Then on a 3-0 count, Demarest takes advantage of Dustin Harris red lighting it and just simply blows one right past him.
3-1. Up and away. No taking advantage there. Now that is a walk. First a hit by pitch and now a base on balls. And I knew this one was coming. I know Brandon Shalikas, as the pitching coach, Brandon Shalikas, former player for the Pittsfield Suns, is now coming out here to talk with Demarest and find out what the real issue is, because 6 pitches in, you have a plunked batter and a 5-pitch walk. That won't bode well with anyone coming in for relief, let alone starting on top of it.
Yeah, it's been really tough starting off for Demarest, and it's a very tight ball game. On the other end, Loyerson is shutting down the Suns' offense, and they really can't afford for many more runs to come across in a very tight bona fide pitcher's duel. One thing, well, Brian Johnson was very hittable, giving up 7 hits, but one thing he didn't do, he didn't administer too many free passes. In fact, Demarest has matched the total that Brian Johnson gave up in his first 2 batters faced. He's really got to get under control, or he could put up a very ugly number on the scoreboard.
Demarest has the sign after talking with Shalikas and the catcher Simeone. First pitch. That one is in there, called strike. That was the best pitch we've seen thus far. Great breaking ball there.
Need to see more of that to keep the runners on base.
I believe that was his slider, and yes, it was. It's got a fastball, curve, slider, and changeup as a step-off motion towards second. Demarest has a goal of becoming a history teacher. That is his major on top. This one also hits Adamson.
Having a difficult time getting a grip, it looks like, as he's overthrown quite a few pitches this inning. The base is loaded and none away. If he can't find his command, this could get very, very ugly.
He loads the bases by first hitting a batter, walking a batter, and then hitting another batter.
And that illustrates what's happened to this point. He's really just beating himself up there on the mound. He hasn't been hit at all, of course, to this point in the inning. He's just put men on base by basically handing them free bases.
Here's a pitch. That one, a slider in there, called strike. Down here is 0-1. He's been good with the slider and then curveball, but the fastball he's been really having some trouble with.
Yeah, and if I'm Giannis, I would honestly yellow light another.
Nearly got a piece of him, but had enough break on the breaking ball.
Case in point, I was just saying that if I was Giannis, I would yellow light it until I see a strike 2 pitch, because Demarest is just really not settling in at all up there on the mound.
This one hacked foul. First base side, just off the hand there of Gedman. Count here is 1-2. And this will be interesting with the bases loaded, nobody gone. It would be miraculous if the Suns can get out of this one unscathed.
Especially with how Demarest is having serious command issues up on the mound. In fact, you can see in the bullpen, the Suns are warming someone up out there already in case this goes wrong.
Here's the 1-2. Popped up, headed into shallow right. Coming in here is Faircloth. Has it. They are going to test him. And no, they're not. They're going to hold him back, but there's a runner held up at second. A throw over to second. And now they got a runner hung up. And they are going to tag him.
Now that was a serious base running gaff right there. I don't understand. I mean, that clearly had to have been a mental error, because the runner at third clearly holding up and the runner at second caught in between. I don't understand where the urge to run anyone on that play would have been. It was a very lightly hit fly ball. It wasn't hit at all deep enough to score or advance anyone. It was a very questionable decision.
And if I do have this correct, that went right field to the pitcher, the shortstop to the third baseman. 9-1-6-5 for a double play.
I don't see that every day. That was a huge bailout there from Demarest, as he moments ago was staring in the face of a bases loaded, no out situation, and now generating one more out. He could get out of this unscathed.
Runners on the corners. That was a ball to Mariano Ricciardi. Next pitch drops low for a ball. Count here is 2-0.
That might be the miraculous sequence of events you were alluding to earlier, Billy.
Here's a 2-0. Upstairs for a ball, now 3-0 to the small frame of Mariano Ricciardi. Again, smallest on the team, and I believe one of the smallest in the FCBL. Again, he goes 5'7" and 165 pounds. It'll be a 3-0 to Ricciardi, and the pitch. He sees that one go low, and that will reload the bases. You have a hit by pitch, a walk, a hit by pitch, a fly out, tag out on a base running blunder double play, another walk, and now here's a shortstop, Chris Rinaldi.
And yet Worcester has failed to profit off of any of that to this point, mostly due to that humongous base running gap we just saw moments ago.
So the bases are reloaded here for Rinaldi. Slider just misses low, it appears.
That one looked like it was right on the line. When you've been as sporadic as Demarest has been to this point in the inning, you cannot expect to get that call.
Here is the 1-0 upstairs. 2-0. If you're Rinaldi, you're really holding up.
Yes, you are. This is looking very bleak right now for Demarest. He's really having some serious problems on the mound. Didn't look like he got much time to warm up.
2-0. That one rolled high. No matter what, I can pretty much guarantee this. Rinaldi is not going to swing.
Oh, you don't say.
3 balls, no strikes. Bases are loaded. There's 2 men gone. He's going to be holding up, trying to get a free RBI. Here's the pitch. He does so. As this one is called strike, now it's 3-1. On third is Chelly. On second, you have Adamson. On first is Ricciardi. It's 1-0. The Bravehearts already lead it. Demarest here with 3-1. In there, called strike, holding up all the way was Rinaldi. And now the runners will be off with a pitch. The Suns trail by 1, trying to limit the damage, starting from the bases loaded with nobody gone, with bases loaded now 2 men gone, as Demarest has a sign. Runners go. No, they hold him up, but no one's covering the bag.
Not exactly a drama-free inning here. Good job on Demarest to work it back to full from 3-0. Has to finish the job here, though, to prevent any damage.
Payoff. Walked him. Very close pitch. Missed the inside corner high, and that will walk in a run.
I mean, that was inevitable to this point because he's now walked via base on balls 3 batters this inning and plunked a couple. To say he's been erratic this inning would be a wild understatement. That was going to happen at some point. Not enough miracle in the world for Demarest to get out of this one unscathed.
Bases reloaded. Adamson on third. Ricciardi on second. Rinaldi on first. Joseph Pesci at the dish. He is currently 1 for 3. Grounded into a double play and was part of another double play. As that one is thigh high down the middle. Called strike. 0-1.
Clearly an issue with warming up. This is not the Mike Demarest that we're accustomed to.
The 0-1. A little bit of a sell job there from Pesci as this one looked good on the inside corner.
A little bit of a skip to my Lou down there.
Next pitch, this one headed towards the shortstop. He will glove it, flip over to second in time. So that will end the inning. A lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitch. But after it all comes down to it, only 1 run comes aboard.
Miraculously.
An RBI walk for Chris Rinaldi. 1 run off, 0 hits, no errors, and there is the bases left loaded. We now head to the bottom of the 6th, 2-0. Bravehearts extend their lead and double it to 2-0 over the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
First pitch, as you saw, was outside for a ball. This one swung on third base side out of play. Count now is 1-1 here to the number 8 batter, third baseman number 1, Jack Holumovic. Great heads-up play there by really everyone on the Suns defense for that double play on a attempted sacrifice as this one bounces in. 2 balls and a strike. So it'll be the 8-9-1 batters here coming up this inning. Again, Kolumovic, Simeone, then the top of the order with White.
Larryson sitting at 71 pitches. He could get through this inning and be eligible to come out for another one.
Another check swing. He did not go, as confirmed there by Frank Neves. Pitch was up and away, 3-1. Here's the windup and the 3-1. This one a hot shot. That one in the breadbasket of the first baseman. What a great play there by Chelly. Flips over to first to the pitcher in time.
A really good way to grab that thing without losing it there on Chelly's end. Great defensive effort. Keeps the Suns up the base yet again.
Catcher number 19, Sevi Simeone. Here's a pitch. Catches the outside corner. Called strike. 0-1. Larson with the next pitch. High and away. A ball, the strike man gone. 8 strikeouts on the evening for Larson. 1-1. Caught on a miss. Big swing there from Simeone.
Tried to pull on something because that was a wild swing right there.
Here's the next pitch, overthrown by Laurie Reset. Now the 2-2 count will upcome. Quick pace here by Laurie Reset. Has a sign, winds, deals, 2-2. High fly ball going into deep left center field. Going back here is Pesci. And he is underneath it and makes the catch.
Doesn't quite have the arm power to really smack that thing over the wall, and that's about what he has to do at this point because Larryson's not letting anything else go, and that one easily finds the glove. And Larryson's good outing persists.
78 pitches, 48 strikes, 8 strikeouts.
He could easily qualify to come out next inning.
The pitch. Holding off on that one, off speed, and it's in there. Called strike, 0-1. Good use of the changeup there by Laurie Reset.
Oh, indeed, and you know you trust it when that's the first pitch you throw.
Next pitch, same thing, except this one on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Trying to get out of the inning very swiftly as Laurie Reset in the 0-2. Well, not going to do it that one. Waste pitch, drops low for a ball.
Quite aggressive here to Alexander White. Keeping the tempo high.
The 1-2. This one chop foul right over to Gedman, who will grab that one. Larry said, looks like he does have another inning in him. However, they are warming up in the bullpen.
Early season, they might not want to push him too hard.
Well, he's not going to be pushed too hard when he's got 9 strikeouts. Swing and a miss by White. 9 strikeouts. It's another 1-2-3 inning for the Bravehearts. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We now head to the top of the 7th. Second, third of the ballgame. New pitcher in the ballgame for the Suns. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one, or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
pitch in the ballgame for the Suns. It looks like it's number 27, Mike Noki. Noki has appeared in one game at this point. Pitched a pretty clean inning, walking 2 and striking out 1. Did not allow a run. And that will put an end to the reliever Mike Demarest's line, as he had a rough go of things last inning in his only inning of work today. He hurled an inning, faced 7 batters, gave up 1 run, but he didn't allow any hits, and that was due to the fact that he walked 3 batters, plunked a couple, and threw a wild pitch. In fact, in 25 pitches, just 9 of those went for strikes. Really tough time for Mike Demarest as he gave up yet another run to increase the Worcester Bravehearts lead to 2-0. And so Noki will look to try to get an inning or 2 of work to hold the line for the Suns offense to maybe try to wake up a little bit for a rally late game.
For the second third of the ball game, it'll be the heart of the order, Delacari, McFadden, and then Shelley. Between the 3, only 2 for 6. However, one of them was a big one. That was Mac Shelley with a solo shot in the 4th. Here's a pitch. Hot shot in between first and second. Dabbles through into right for a first pitch, first bag single for Delacari.
Just placed it perfectly. No one is going to be able to get to that thing. It's hit hard enough to get out of the infield, and a good way to get up the Worcester offense once again with a leadoff base hit.
Now the left fielder, number 17, Dakota McFadden. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Grounded out to the pitcher his previous time up.
You've had a number of balls put in play on the first pitch tonight.
Not going to be one with this scenario. It's a fastball clips the lower outside corner. Count here is 0-1. Here's a pitch down the right field line. Fair or foul? It is foul. Exactly what I just said.
That one hit pretty hard, but it's a little bit off the line there. That one could have caused some serious damage, or it also could have found a glove out there.
So giving you a little bit of info on Mike Noki. He's a true righty, 5'11", 175 pounds, soon to be sophomore at Babson College with the Beavers. Throws around 85 to 87. His fastest was 88 as the runner goes. Hit and run attempt foiled as a foul ball goes behind home plate. He also has a 2-seamer, a curveball, and slider. It does not have a changeup. Noki is also, with perfect game, listed as an 8.5 out of 10, which is in between a potential draft pick and or excellent college prospect, as well as potential top 10 round and or highest level college prospect. So over to first on a pickoff attempt. He's back in safely. Here's the 0-2. Bounces in. Let's see. They're going to test the throw over to second, and he is safe. So that one is going to be rolled off the ball. It was in the dirt. That's going to be a wild pitch. Advancing to second is Delacari.
Yeah, the throw was a little bit offline, but even if it was on point, I don't think they were going to get him over there at second as a result of the wild pitch.
A ball, 2 strikes here to Dakota McFadden. Single on the first, ground out to short in the third, ground out to the pitcher in the 5th. Pitch, slap foul, and that one will remain 1-2. Okay, long hold now, the 1-2. Swung on and missed. However, it's in the dirt again. They're not ruling this one a foul ball. And that's going to be a strikeout single for Dakota McFadden.
I don't see that happen very often, but with the ground still being a bit damp from our little bout of rain, that was going to be difficult for Simeone to grab in the ground. And as a result, the Worcester Bravehearts get yet another base runner trying to get some run insurance in the late game.
So a strikeout wild pitch. Now there's runners on the corners and nobody gone. And the first baseman, number 5, Mac Shelley, is due up. And he spells trouble if he does what he did in the 4th. The pitch. Takes a pitch inside court. No, just too far inside. And the count is 1-0. Suns are slated at double play depth. I'm not sure what their strategy is this late in the ball game, already down 2. As this one's headed to short, let's find out. No, it goes and takes an awkward hop off the shortstop, off of McHale.
Yeah, this one looked like it hit him right in the chest as it kind of bobs a little bit away. Too far away for the Suns to get any outs. And another run is going to come across to score in what's turning into a very poor inning defensively. Not sure what that call is going to be, but regardless, the Bravehearts increased their lead to 3-0. I would assume some type of error is associated with that play, but those will wait on official wording.
Pitch is inside here to Dustin Harris, the left-handed hitter. It's going to be ruled an infield single as it took a very awkward hop, and it was well without an ordinary effort there for McHale. Next pitch is also, this one is outside, and now the count here is 2-0. So counted as a hit. Two balls, no strikes, nobody gone. It is 3-0 Bravehearts as this one is hit right back to the dugout of the Bravehearts. Fouled off now 2-1. Again, it looks like the ruling for the error was due to the fact that it took a late hop and an awkward hop that went over near the shoulder of McHale, who was waiting for it just regular. Went to possibly try for a double play ball. Check swing, but it drops low, so now it's 3-1.
And, of course, it is worth noting that you can't assume a double play, so there's not going to be any repercussions in terms of an error associated to that.
The pitch is low for a ball, and the bases are loaded for the second straight inning. And here comes Gedman. No one warming in the pen. And now they are going to have, it looks like, the whole infield come in and talk with things. They're going to have the whole infield converge here. And I don't see any activity in the bullpen for the Suns. Simpson, home plate umpire, looking to break things up here. So again, bases are loaded. McFadden on third, Shelley on second, Harris on first. And here's Adamson. Struck out twice, but last time up was hit by a pitch. First pitch is in there, called strike 0-1 from Noki. The 0-1 tapped to the pitcher. Let's see, throw home for a 1. No throw over to first, so that'll be a fielder's choice 1-2. Preventing the run from scoring.
Solid defensive effort there to keep another run from coming across, and it does serve to mitigate the damage because you can get out of this now with a ground ball.
So the bases are reloaded. McFadden is off the base paths. Shelley's on third, Harris on second, Adamson now on first via fielder's choice. Second baseman number 9, Alex Gionis at the plate. Fouled off, 0-1.
Should be noted that this is actually the only game that will have been played tonight, as we had a postponement out in Nashua. We also had a postponement at Frazier Field, where the Rockton Rocks and North Shore Navigators will next play on June 14th, as they were unable to get their contest going for tonight.
So this is the only action here in the FCBL here tonight. As Noki has a sign, it's an 0-1 with the bases loaded. A check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says Frank Nevis, bases umpire, which I do believe is the right call. A ball, a strike, a man gone, but the bases are loaded. 3 men on, already a 3-run game, 3-0. Bravehearts lead the Suns. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Bravehearts. 0-2-0 for the Suns. A 1-1. Fastball that drops low for a ball. 2-1. Here's a 2-1. Check swing. Miss low and away. Now 3-1.
Getting into dangerous territory again. Nowhere to put him. This next pitch has to be for a strike.
Noki, 3-1. Hot shot into left field for a base hit. 1 run will come aboard. They're going to round the man next, and let's see the throw home is offline, and 2 men will score. A 2 RBI single by Alex Gionis, and now it is 5-0.
Blowing the game wide open on a crack shot single into the outfield. Giving up a ton of base runners. It's finally coming back to bite the Suns. This is now a 3-run 7th. And given how sturdy the pitching on the other end has been, that one was deadly.
Now the designated hitter, number 1, Mariano Ricciardi, batting in from the left-hand side. Runners on first and second with 1 gone. A ground ball can still in the inning. Noki with a step off, looking over at second at Adamson.
That one hurt a lot, though, bringing in a couple more runs.
This one right back to the pitcher. Let's see, this could be 2. Throw over to second for 1. Over to first is in time. A 1-6-3 double play gets him out of it. So 2 outs in 1 play. However, 2 runs in 1 play comes back to bite the Suns as 3 runs come aboard off of 3 hits. No errors and 1 man left on base. We now head to the bottom of the 7th as it is stretch time. It is 5-0. Let's listen in to Take Me Out to the Ballgame here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Bravehearts lead the Suns 5-0. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
New pitcher in the ballgame for the Worcester Bravehearts. That's number 30, Kendall Pomeroy. Pomeroy has yet to make an appearance for the Bravehearts this season. A true righty, 6'4", 210, soon-to-be senior out of UMass Lowell, hailing from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. And, of course, that will put the curtains on the line for opposing starter Cody Loyrison. An absolutely stellar 6 innings of action for Loyrison that saw him face just 1 batter over the minimum at 19. Didn't give up any runs, 2 hits, no walks, struck out 9. He could have kept going on 83 pitches, but the Bravehearts did not want to press him any farther, given that it is the early season, so they decided to turn it over to their bullpen instead. That said, Loy Reeson will receive a quality start and currently is in line for the win.
With a very nice cushion of a lead and already a quality start. And yes, they don't want to really force the issue here for Loy Reeson, which is hence the reason why they're going to their bullpen, getting some extra work here for now Kendall Pomeroy.
Keeping the arms fresh. Of course, if this was a late season game with a lot of impact, I'm sure they probably would have left him out there.
Well, speaking of impact, that one goes into right field on a straight shot. Shade with a wide turn, and he will stay put over at first. First pitch swinging, and that is the first single of the ball game for Shade.
Breaking up a large funk the Suns had gone under that saw them not able to place the base runner since the 4th inning. And, of course, the man who did place said base runner is up to bat now.
That being the right fielder, number 14, Dylan Faircloth, who is the hot stepper. Faircloth 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out to short in the first. Shade, speaking of on first, watch out for him on the base pass. As this one's a hot shot over the head of the shortstop, goes into center field. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back singles for the Suns. And just like that, the Suns get the momentum a little bit cooking here.
Needless to say, not how you want to appear out of the bullpen. 2 pitches, 2 base hits given up. In fact, that would match the number of base hits Loy Reeson gave up in his entire outing. Having a bit of trouble adjusting as Kendall Pomeroy. Will have to get it back under control unless he wants things to get interesting.
Here's a shortstop, McHale. 1 for 2 with the fielder's choice he batted into. Was ruled out at second via batter interference on a stolen base attempt in the second. A check swing, but it's high for a ball 1-0. That's the first pitch taken here against Pomeroy. And 3 batters in. Now the 1-0. High fly ball going into center field. Pesci going to grab this one. And no advancement there by Shade, trying to get a throw out of him. Hopefully an error, but to no avail. So that's just a fly out into center field. Shallow center field at that.
Very, very fast and very tight inning so far. 4 pitches, and we've already seen 2 singles and a fly out. They are not wasting their time up against Kendall Pomeroy. That said, they don't want to get too over-aggressive. Although down 5 runs, he'd rather be aggressive than passive.
Peter Marin due up. He's 0 for 2. First pitch in there, called strike about letter high. Count is 0-1. Pomeroy has a sign, a long hold, and the pitch. That one a wide breaking ball, looked like a slider, but it misses outside and slides too much. It's a ball, a strike, a man gone, 2 men on. Suns doubling their hits from the previous 6 innings in the first 2 batters of this inning alone. The pitch. This one is going to be ruled an infield fly. It's dropped, but it was ruled an infield fly. Second baseman there, Gionis, tried to be a little slick.
Yeah, that's not going to work on it. That is literally why infield fly was created, to prevent, oh, I accidentally dropped it. Here, let me turn a double play. That is why this rule was created. So nothing doing for him there, as that's going to simply just be a regular old out. Still, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Nathan Cloutier swings at this one down the third base line, and he does tag third base himself, and that one is going to end the inning. So Suns aggressive, but all for naught. As in the inning, no runs come aboard off of 2 quick hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Through 7 full to the top of the 8th we go. The Bravehearts still leading commandingly by a score of 5-0. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in America needs blood? Dr. Phil here, and I'd like to encourage you to donate blood through the American Red Cross. If you've never given before, now's a great time to start. If you've given before, do it again. It only takes about an hour, and your donation could make a life-saving difference. So contact the American Red Cross today. To make an appointment, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE or visit givelife.org today. Thank you.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Back out for a second inning, first pitch swing, and this one goes over to the second baseman. And the throw over to first from Gaston to Marin. One pitch, one gone, and Noki is back out there for a second inning, going off to a quick and easy start here for Noki.
That's something that Suns pitching in general has been unaccustomed to, a quick and easy start involving no walks or hit batsmen. It's definitely a sight for sore eyes for this team today.
Now here's the center fielder, number 18, Joseph Pesci. He is 1 for 4 in the day with a double play. He golfs this one out, but the ball's still in the bunker as a golf swing misses. And the count here is 0-1.
Needed to be a little bit longer to hit that pitch.
Well, need a little bit longer of a bat if you're going to even attempt to swing at that one. This one well outside, goes all the way back to the backstop. Count now evens up at 1-1.
Might also need a bigger glove to catch it with.
Bringing one of those giant 20-foot gloves just as a novelty. As this one breaking ball is in there for a called strike there.
And frankly, a glove of that caliber could have been quite useful in today's contest.
Very true.
The rain is completely gone, so that's certainly a positive.
1-2, well, same effect. Gets away there from the catcher, Simeone.
No pressure situation. No harm, no foul. Literally and metaphorically, of course.
With no one on base, yes, that is the case. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a man gone. Pitch. Make it 3, that being balls. This will load up the count full at 3-2. Noki has the sign, winds and deals a payoff. A check swing. He does not go as the pitch is low, and that is a walk for Joseph Pesci.
Yet another walk. So many free passes administered by today's pitching.
It's the 4th inning in a row where we've seen a walk. Before that, there was only 1 walk in the ballgame. That was from the starter, Brian Johnson, in the very first inning.
Brian Johnson got hit up a lot, and his relief corps has just given free passes like there's no tomorrow. So many base runners in today's contest. It's a miracle for the Suns. It's 5-0 and not something like 10-0.
Pitch was low for a ball. Count is 1-0. And yes, Andrew, that's very true. 11 men left on base, including right now Joseph Pesci over on first. So 10 men left on base in 7 innings. Quite a bit. And they're still up 5-0. Rocket shot. This goes past the base runner, goes into right field. And they're going to hold up the runner, Pesci, over on second for a single into right field for the second straight inning for Delicari.
And back to my point about getting hit. 11 base hits on the ball game. There's just no end in sight to the Worcester base runners. It seems like every single inning they put at least 2 men on base. And that it is just, there's no wonder why they're up as the way they are. 5 runs pushed across, as I alluded to earlier, and as Billy confirmed with the number of runners they've left on base. 5-0 with a little bit more opportunistic hitting could have easily been 10-0 or worse.
Here's Dakota McFadden, who reached on base via strikeout. His past time up, he reached on a wild pitch. He's currently 1 for 4 on the day. from the stretch. First pitch just misses low, and the count here is 1-0. And a step off, twirl around, I should say, attempted to pick off at second. Both bullpens have some action currently. There's on first and second, one gone. Here's the pitch. Bounces in, good pick there from Simeone, who's had a lot of pitches in the dirt here today.
Between Simeone, pitching coach Brandon Shalikas, and Matt Kedman, they got to been thinking to themselves, can we please get someone on the mound who can consistently throw strikes? Between Demarest and now Noki, they have seriously struggled finding the zone.
Noki has a sign from the stretch. 2-1. This one off the glove of the catcher.
I would think that to probably be a passed ball, but I will wait until, of course, we get official wording on that. It looked like it just skipped off of Simeone's glove. It looked like it was within reach, but it looked like Simeone finally cracked and let that one go.
He did stand up and get the ball, but it was past his outstretched glove.
Looked like it collided with like the upper part of the glove and just sort of slipped out. I would think that to be
this one's a hot shot into left field on the line drive. It is caught. They will test the throw, and no throw to home. That will be a sacrifice line drive for Dakota McFadden, swinging on a 3-0 pitch. And now it is 6-0. It's going to be ruled a wild pitch, as having to reach out for this one. Or excuse me, pass ball. Regarding that, misworded that. That was my fault. This one's back towards us, over our heads. Goes off the roof and towards the ticket booth. Next pitch, that one's in there for a call. Strike count here is 0-2. A step off here from Noki to McChelly. 3 runs today. He has plated half of his team's runs.
He's had himself a day, needless to say.
I believe there's some sort of promotional deal where the strikeout equals free tacos.
I'm not sure. I'd love to know.
Well, they're not
more.
going to get it. This one, hot shot into center, and they are going to wave the runner around. No throw will come aboard, and that is an RBI single for McChelly, who extends it to 7-0.
He is having himself quite the day, Chelly is today. And with the way Worcester's pitching has been, that one may have just put this game out of reach here in the 8th inning, up 7-0. And it looks like that's probably going to be the end of his day.
It looks like that will be the case. They are electing to go to the bullpen. So new pitcher in the ballgame, but we will be right back with more information regarding the reliever. In the meantime, right now there's a runner on first. 2 runs are already in. It's 7-0. Bravehearts leads the Suns. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
New pitcher in the ballgame for the Suns. That's number 7, Brian Haddon. Haddon has made 2 appearances out of the pen this season, throwing 3 innings of 1 earned run ball on 1 unearned run off 1 hit, walking 2 and striking out 4, a clean 0 ERA. The same cannot be said for Mike Noki, who to this point threw an inning and 2/3, faced 12 batters, gave up 5 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, and a couple wild pitches with a strikeout. 39 pitches, and that will do it for Noki, although he is responsible for the runner on first.
A huge swing and miss there from Dustin Harris. It counts 0-1. Next pitch called. Strike on the outside corner against the lefty. And now it is 0-2.
Finally, we see a Suns pitcher throwing some strikes. Getting him down in the count early. That's a good way to come out of the pen.
And with the 0-2. Just off the outside corner. Very nice waist pitch, by the way.
And a gutsy take there from Harris. That one could have gone either way.
And a long hold, 1-2. Hot shot right back to him. Gloves it himself. Flip over to first in time. Haddon quick with the out, with the only man that he faced this inning. So that'll be a 1-3 put out and end the inning. So in the inning, 2 runs come aboard off of 2 hits. No errors and 1 man left on base. So for Delacari, his run is now unearned. And we head now to the bottom of the 8th. Suns in desperate need of some offense here. 7-0, they trail the Worcester Bravehearts. We'll be right back with more Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Going to listen in live here to Sweet Caroline as well.
Second baseman, Nick Gaston.
So Nick Gaston, who struck out twice, is digging in. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Pomeroy is still out there. Here's a pitch. That one fouled off of the mask, it looks like. Pomeroy has a sign. The 0-2. Well outside for a ball, try to make him chase to no avail. Count here is 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody gone. It is the bottom of the 7th and a 7-run lead, 7-0. Bravehearts lead it. Big cut and miss there on a slow breaking ball for strike 3.
Yeah, that's just a miserable day at the plate with 3 strikeouts and 3 trips up. Doesn't look like he'll get a chance to redeem himself later tonight, but he's got to fix up his approach in some way for Suns' future games because it's been just a dreary performance from him tonight.
Jack Kalumovic, third baseman, number 1, digging in from the left-hand side, grounded out to the corner infielders, to third base in the 3rd, to first base in the 6th. Pitches outside for a ball, 1-0. Where the sign is Pomeroy, and the pitch just off the outside corner. The count 2-0. From the stretch, Pomeroy works exclusively from. Here's a 2-0. That one is in there on the lower inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike, a man gone. Again, here in the bottom of the 7th, 7-0. Bravehearts lead it. Pitch. Fall back towards us, and that's probably the closest one that's come up towards us. The good news is I didn't flinch.
Congratulations.
What, can't say the same?
Yes, I can.
Go defense. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Kalumovic. Simeone currently on deck. 2-2. High ball going towards left field side. That will go foul. And did he run out of room? Yes, it actually went off the top of the fence and stayed in play.
Catchable, but not quite fast enough to get to it.
So we'll remain at 2-2. Getting the sign is Pomeroy with the nod. He does set from the stretch. Kicks and deals. This one lunging in front of this past the pitcher to the second baseman. Throw over to first, not in time.
Oh, he's turning on the wheels there, and a beautiful infield single. Very tapped, stays inside the infield, but no one's able to get to it enough time, and that's a well-hit infield single. Very well ran.
Catcher number 19, Simeone. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Go out to center, back in the 6th his last time up. Here he is, the first pitch to him. That one actually got a piece of him, as well as the catcher. That one's going to be rolled a hit by pitch.
You're going to get 2 bags for that or something?
I don't know, but if you have that on your scorecard for baseball bingo, well, I think you might have a blackout in this case.
Yeah, no kidding. Be a very weird game. A pitch must hit the batter and the catcher
at the same time, or on the same pitch, I should say.
Siamese twins or something.
Here's the left fielder, number 6, Alexander White. 0 for 3 on the day. A couple strikeouts for him. Sees the first pitch inside corner, but misses low. Count 1-0. Pomeroy with a sign, delivers. Watches this one go to his knees over the plate. Called strike 0-1. Check that 1-1. Ball a strike, a man gone, and this one, great block there from Adamson. This one nearly went through the 5-hole. Now the 2-1. Hot shot, pat off the bare hand of the pitcher, and that's the throw over to first, not in time. Not sure how wise that was from Pomeroy, but sheer instinct
that
to
definitely
reach out his hand, and I think that might do it there. Here comes J.P. Pine. He reached out with his pitching hand to try to grab it and knock it down.
There's no way
They're going to hold and look for an injury. That's what this is going to be, but that's going to be an infield single.
Yeah, there's no way that was like, oh, I'm going to put my bare pitching hand out to try to feel this ground ball that's like going away from me. There's no way that's a conscious thought. Definitely an instinct. One that definitely cost Pomeroy is if that had gotten past him, I'm pretty sure they would have collected the out, but there's absolutely no chance that was intentional on him to try to interfere with that one.
Now the bases are loaded with only one gone. Suns with the momentum on their side, and their offense really starting to kick in gear for the first time this ball game. Here's a pitch. Shattering his bat, headed towards third. One play to make, throw over to first in time. Well, that does it for the shutout. So that's a 5-3 ground out and RBI for Chad Shade. Suns now trail 7-1, but now there's two men gone.
Pretty bang play right there. Get something going, a productive out. And it looked for him, it didn't look like they would be able to get a run on the play for a moment, but it's hit just light enough. It does break at bat. It stays inside the infield long enough to bring at least one run across. The Suns are finally on the board. Not exactly opportunistic hitting, given the bases loaded with one away, but any runs are helpful in this scenario.
Big cut and miss there by Dylan Fairclough. 0-1.
Trying to make something happen with those two runners in scoring position. Remembering back to what Chris Barbarata said about opportunistic hitting, this would be a chance to at least try to claw back into the game, at least get in shouting distance of a comeback.
This one fouled back.
And so this is a good opportunity for Pomeroy to try to channel that aggressive energy Fairclough is displaying by giving him a waste pitch here, down 0-2.
Here is the pitch. This one headed towards the first baseman, gloves it, and he'll take it himself to end the inning.
Yeah, that one was just a rough swing, very, very late, caught like the tail end of the bat. Lucky to even make contact, period, and not able to turn anything productive on that.
Suns get rid of the shutout. It's now 7-1 after one run comes aboard off of two hits. No errors, two men left on base. Now head here to the top of the ninth. 7-1, Bravehearts lead the Suns. We'll be right back with more Suns baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement fund snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travel.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Top of the ninth here for the Pittsfield Suns, really just trying to get through the half inning and try to go for a miracle in the bottom of the ninth. Down by 6 now. 7 runs, 12 hits, No errors for the Bravehearts. 1 run, half of the hits at 6, and also no errors.
Been ugly to this point, barring a true miracle in the bottom of the ninth. The Suns will have to take another lump.
In the meantime, they have the bottom of the order instead. Here's Derek Anderson Adamson, as it's fouled back to the backstop. Count here is 0-1. Couple strikeouts. Was hit by pitch, also grounded into a fielder's choice. Shattering his bat, another shattered bat. This one goes over to third base at Kalumovic. Throw over to first in time. Got a pretty strong arm over there at third. We've seen, I believe, about 4 or 5 assisted putouts there from Kalumovic.
And that might have been the first, which was right there at the first base bag. He has a rocket arm, but accuracy has been a little bit of a problem. It hasn't come back to bite him just yet. And on that throw was perfect. Very well thrown, hard thrown. Nothing to complain about with that throw.
It's a 4th assist there for Kalumovic today. This one's a hot shot going into right center field. Shade coming on. He will hold up and just go off the one hop, and that will be a single for Alex Gionis. His second hit of the ball game, second in a row as well, following his 2 RBI single in the 7th.
Yeah, really nothing Shea could have, or anyone could have done about that one. That was perfectly placed in the outfield to allow Gionis to get on base.
DH number 1, Mariano Ricciardi, is to up grounded into a double play his last time up. Here's the first pitch. Outside corner, no. Missed outside, 1-0. The 1-0. That one is upstairs for ball now, 2-0. Again, this is the only game happening in the FCBL today. The other 2 games that were scheduled have been postponed, more than likely due to rain. Here's a 2-0. Holding off on this one as it is upstairs. And now it is 3-0 to Ricciardi. Pitch. Well, that's low, and another walk here for Ricciardi. The small frame does pay off.
And yet another walk administered by a Suns pitcher of some sort. They've been giving away bases like it's going out of style.
Quick meeting there between Simeone and Haddon. For the team for walks. Oh, you ain't kidding. They're selling bases like it's Black Friday. 8 walks, 2 hit batsmen, 10 total bases on balls.
And when you factor in giving up 13 base hits on top of that, it's no wonder they're in the predicament they're in now.
Pitch is outside corner. That is high as well. Called strike, 0-1.
So many base runners given up. Brian Johnson managed to keep the floodgates closed, but giving up base runners at that alarming of a rate, it's only a matter of time.
The 0-1. That one is down the middle but high. A ball, a strike, a man gone, 2 men on. 1 by hit, 1 by walk. So shortstop Chris Rinaldi having a 2-for-4 effort, including an RBI walk, the easiest RBI you can get. That one fell well enough back where it's out of play and out of the ballpark. Hopefully that smash actually didn't happen. It was just more sound effects.
I'm pretty sure that was sound effects.
I'm hoping it didn't recur, I should say.
You park anywhere close by, Billy?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Been here for 8 years. I know the skinny on what's going on
There
here.
you go. There you go.
1-2 from Haddon. Just missed off of the breaking ball. That one is a ball, 2-2. Again, same spot, just barely missing. Now it's full 3-2.
It's got to be so frustrating watching and, of course, administering walks of your own and giving up that many base runners, having a guy down 1-2 and then pitching him to a full count pitch.
This one a hot shot to the second baseman. A weird hop throw over to second for one. No throw over to first. But a fantastic stop from Gaston.
Oh, and a fantastic stop indeed. This one looked like it was going to get past him for another base hit. But thankfully, due to Gaston's athletics out there in the field, able to limit it to a fielder's choice and at least collecting an out on the play and preventing the bases from once again being loaded.
Now here's the center fielder, number 18, Joseph Pesci. He's 1 for 4 in the day with a run scored, also a walk. Part of 2 double plays. One he grounded into, the other one he was the front end of. Pitch. Well enough upstairs. Count is 1-0. The pitch went just a little bit too far low. Now it's 2-0 here to Haddon. The pitch, that one is a little bit higher than what was twice before. Now it's 2-1.
And I am very much amused by Pesci's approach. He dropped the bat before the ball even reached the glove. He had no intention of swinging at that one, ever.
This one got away from the catcher. Runner will advance over to second. On that one will be a wild pitch. This one was in the dirt.
No advance from another run on third. As you can see, it did stay close enough to the plate to keep the runner at third at bay. Still, with now 2 runners in scoring position, there have been no trauma-free innings at all whatsoever for the Suns defense.
The pitch, right down the middle. Called strike, holding all the way was Pesci, and that'll be full 3-2.
He has been extremely conservative in this at-bat, as I noted earlier. He dropped the bat before the ball even reached the glove.
Payoff, well, that's outside, and that wild pitch was all for naught. Bases are now loaded. Now here's the right fielder, Michael Delacari. First pitch to him, and it gets away from the catcher, and they are going to test and run all the runners, and that one is going to be another run scored. So the run that the Suns scored in the bottom half of the 8th comes back.
Another brutal inning control-wise. It's just not happening for him out there on the mound.
That one's going to be a ruled a pass ball, so right now it's an unearned run. Pitch, big cut and miss there from Delacari. Count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on second and third. It's 8-1 Bravehearts. This one fouled off above us. The count here is now 1-2. Now the 1-2 from Haddon. Cut on and miss for strike 3. And that one is going to end the inning. So the Pittsfield Suns give up a run off 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left on base. Bottom of the 9th, and there's a new pitch in the ball game here for the Bravehearts. They lead it 8-1, and we'll be right back with more Suns baseball with a new pitcher as well when we come back here in the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
outfit, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
New pitch in the ballgame to finish this one off for the Worcester Bravehearts. That's number 28, Edward Lair. Lair has not made an appearance to this point in the season. The true righty, 6'1", 185, is a senior at Babson from Byram Township, New Jersey. And that will put an end to the line of Kendall Pomeroy, who is currently in line for the hold. That said, Pomeroy hurled 2 complete, facing 11 batters, giving up 1 earned run on 4 hits. He also plunked a batter and struck out 1 on 27 pitches, 19 strikes. Just getting word that Pomeroy will actually not be in line for the hold.
My mistake. Be in the middle of the order for the Suns here in the bottom half of the 9th. McHale with the first pitch fouling that one off. Edward Lair just trying to get some innings in as the bullpen has vacated.
Yeah, they're just leaving it up to Lair to finish the game.
That one also leaving that one up wide up in the air to the right fielder, Ricciardi. And that one is called. That one is caught, rather. And that is the first out of the night. Actually, first pitch, it looked like that one missed outside. Or excuse me, it was high as well. So it's 1-0. Now the next pitch is in there for a called strike. Count now is 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is also upstairs. Looks like there's a new right fielder in replace for Ricciardi. Here's the 2-1. Big cut and miss there from Marin. And the pitch, that one a breaking ball that slipped, and definitely seeing that one slip there was Lair as he puts a little chuckle onto that one, so it's a 3-2 count. Next pitch, that one's fouled behind us. Time is called quickly here for Suns batter Merritt. Lair has a sign, winds and deals. This is a full count pitch, and it's called strike 3, and Marin was headed towards first.
He is not pleased about that call. He definitely seems to disagree with it, seeing as how he tossed his bat to the side, but always got to wait on getting that call, and he did not get the call he thought he was getting, and as a result, there are now 2 outs in the inning.
Suns down to their final out. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Billy Mado alongside Andrew Belargent at Pulled Out Field at Wacona Park. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Suns trails 8-1, and this could do it. Throw over to third. From third over to first. Harris to Chelly will do it. So that will end the ball game on a 5-3 putout. Suns lose their 4th straight, and 2 home and homes, one against Bristol, one against Worcester. Suns are swept out of both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's a 1-2-3 inning. Suns drop this one 8-1. We'll be right back with more Pittsfield Suns baseball with a post-game show here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement fund snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. And now, back to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wakota Park in Pittsfield with your hosts, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show, heard right here on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. My name is Billy Madewell alongside Andrew Belargent for the Suns. Really, the big detractor was the Suns really weren't getting the hitting going when they needed to, and then the free passes just accumulated to be way too much.
Free passes indeed. Between 13 base hits and almost, if not reaching a dozen free passes administered, the Suns just gave up way too many base runners to seriously contend with Worcester tonight.
Quick scoring recap. Solo homer in the fourth for Mac Shelley. Made it 1-0. Then in the sixth, it would be an RBI walk for Chris Rinaldi. They would get three more on the board in the seventh. For that, it would be an RBI single by Mac Shelley once more, and then a 2 RBI single by Alex Gionis. 2 more runs would come aboard in the eighth. One off a sacrifice fly for Dakota McFadden, and then Mac Shelley once again. Another RBI single, this one to make it 3 RBI on the day for Shelley. Suns would get a run in the bottom of the eighth, and that would be an RBI ground out for Chad Shade, but the run would go right back to the Bravehearts in the top of the ninth. And for that, would have been reaching on a pass ball, reaching home would have been Alex Gionis. So for the Pittsfield Suns, really not up to their full potential today. As we look at the box score for the Bravehearts, 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors. And they left quite a number of runners on base, actually. 13 batters left on base. And for runners in scoring position, they went 3 for 13. Now for the Pittsfield Suns, really, they didn't have too much going. And the offense department, again, they only had 1 run off of 6 hits. They did not have any errors. And they only left 5 men on board. But for runners in scoring position, for the Suns, again, there wasn't too much going. They only went 1 for 6. And with a run coming aboard off the RBI ground out. So again, Andrew, the real detractor for tonight's ball game was things imploded with the bullpen due to the free passes. And it added up to, I believe, 10 total, well over 10 total for the Suns. As you look at the total line, 9 walks, 2 hit batsmen as well. That's quite a number.
And with that, when you combine that number with how many runners Worcester left on base, 8-1 could have been something insane, like 15-1 if Worcester's hitting was just a tiny little bit more opportunistic. So this game was just all Worcester, and the Suns just beat themselves a whole lot today. That is an absurd amount of free passes. You expect that many free passes in like 2 or 3 games, not one all put together. So this was just not, they just did not have it today. It was a very rough day weather-wise. We didn't see the sun in the sky at all, and we didn't see too much good sun on the field today, period.
For the Suns player of the game, that win is going to go to Dylan Faircloth. He went 2 for 4 with a couple singles. And for the Suns pitcher of the game, it is going to be Brian Johnson. Now with Johnson, he did give up a lot of hits. For that, he gave up the most hits out of the rest of the three relievers combined. However, he only made one mistake, and that was one solo shot.
Yeah, solid outing from Brian Johnson. If no one else, he deserves that designation. He did take the loss, but 5 solid innings. He did deal with adversity very, very well, although he was a very, very hittable. And as I said, if Worcester was just a little bit more opportunistic, that 5 innings for 1 earned run line would look a lot uglier.
And now as we get things set here for tomorrow, Andrew, your final thoughts for tonight's contest before we head to tomorrow's matinee game?
Well, tonight was just extremely sloppy. Like, there needs to be a lot of reflecting on the number of things that went wrong for the Suns tonight, because neither the hitting or the pitching, and to some extent the fielding, really had it tonight. Like, the hitting just couldn't figure out Cody Lawryson, and by the time they were able to actually do something to the bullpen, the game was essentially well out of hand, and the pitching was just absolutely sloppy tonight. Too many free passes, very, very hittable. There needs to be a large reflection from the entire team as a whole, because moving forward, this is not a recipe for success.
Tonight's ball game started at 6:29 p.m., ended at 9:05 for a total game time of 2 hours and 36 minutes in front of a home crowd of 617. Next game that you'll hear from us, well, will be tomorrow's matinee game, the morning game, the daytime delight game and school day. That's being sponsored by Greylock Federal Credit Union and Greylock Insurance Agency. And that will be against the Bristol Blues. That will be first pitch slated for 10:30, and the pregame is slated for 10 o'clock in the morning. If you want to join us, thank you very much, and thank you all for all of you who have listened to us here for tonight's contest, as the Suns drop this one by a final score of 8-1. So thank you all for whoever has listened and watched. For players, coaches, umpires, and fans, that will do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Billy Madewell, signing off, saying thank you for listening to the Pittsfield Suns and the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Please join us next time for more exciting baseball action from Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park. This play-by-play broadcast of Pittsfield Suns Baseball was a production of the Pittsfield Suns. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of